Are we on the internet? Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tabletop Role-Playing Theater, or a gathering of the finest in geeks, nerds, and theater players across all spectrums. We'll be playing some Dungeons and Dragons. For those of us who are returning, welcome back. We missed you. I was gone last week having fun at Dragon Con. And that was a pretty good experience. I'd like to give a special thanks to D&D Adventures League and Wizards of the Coast for letting me come out there and host some games. The open was a lot of fun. Special thanks to Amy, you know who you are, for doing the epic Assault on Myth Nantar. That was a great experience. For those of you who have not had the chance to go to a convention to do Adventures League, I really, really, really do recommend you make your way out there at some point or another. It is an experience unlike any other. As far as everything else goes, all other shows are kicking off pretty well. I think we've got Curse of Strahd on high stream. We've got Pathfinder 2nd rolling out here before too much longer. If you get the chance, you should watch the spotlight. You can see a little bit behind the scenes as a few of us get the chance to talk about the state of the game, the things we're playing, and a little bit of behind the scenes of who's who in the zoo. Other than that, I don't think I actually have any other announcements. Has anybody got anything they want to tell our dear audience?
I do.
What do you have to tell them?
Drink milk.
Drink your milk?
Drink your milk. It's good for your bones.
That is good.
What if you're lactose?
Lactose-free milk.
Just drink it anyway. Okay. So we're going to follow this, not listen to his advice. We're going to go ahead and play some Dungeons and Dragons, starting with tonight's The Land of Dark Dreams. Welcome back. So, where last we left off, our adventuring party, now officially titled Misfortune by the governor of Darrowshore, successfully defeated these forces of undead that had been attempting to sack Darrowshore. You battled through the city before knocking unconscious the necromancer that had been leading them. He was subsequently imprisoned and later executed before you had the chance to interrogate him. You all went about throughout the city, helping people where you could and making some last-minute purchases, as many of the clues and points left behind were directing you towards the port city of Baewic to the north. You acquired passage on the Voyager ship Sebastian, captained by an awakened cat, Captain Edward. The voyage was fairly uneventful until you were ambushed by a group of Sahagwan who had been attempting to ransack the ship. However, soundly defeated, Edward successfully navigated you back into the looming port city of Baewic. You then met Talric Greydon of Talric's Emporium. Now, you have to decide, as the sun rises high in the sky, what to do next. So, Misfortune, what would you like to do?
If memory serves, everybody was all up in a tizzy about going to Weston and Smith's Gun Emporium. It was either that or the tower first, whichever was closer, I believe.
I think everyone liked the idea of guns.
I was interested in it.
The tower's on the way, and we have things to ask out at the tower, which I hope people remember because I'm actually kind of drawing a blank about what we were going to bring up.
My journal. It's right here.
Let's see if I have it in my notes.
Have it.
What were we gonna ask?
Definitely wanted to mention about how we might be able to dispose of it if we couldn't find the staff we found. If we could not find a way to do that, then obviously we'll take that back. It was also mentioning how people might be able to track the necromantic fungus that has been found its way into the grain, and that's what I remember.
That's a pretty good amount of memory.
Did we want to ask about a mage named Simimar?
Eurykio Zaro? No, that was a
The
thing.
book. The necromantic book said that.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been like 2 weeks. I forget things in one.
I just remember I wanted to go shopping at the Mage Tower. I think that's what it was.
And shopping was the one I had not brought up, but yeah, that was a thing too.
I need
Oh,
more
that's
balls.
happening.
Yeah, I feel like there was some. Maybe they have a library there. If they have a library, I'd be interested to check that out.
We'll get you on the map of Baewic so we can figure out, so you can see what's where and who's where.
Oh, hey, that helps.
Yay! I did want to go to Potions 11 also. If no one else wants to go there, that's fine. But
They have terrible naming.
I need to learn potion stuff.
One of these days, Beth's just gonna like murder me.
One of these days.
Mage Tower's gonna fall over on you and specifically you.
Rocks fall.
Suddenly a rock falls. Why?
Great. I was drinking milk at that point. Great.
You gotta watch out for the giants when they're playing shot put.
So, where would you guys like to go?
I guess the tower's on the way. Might as well stop there first.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
You're quite right. I'm agreeing with you.
The bustling streets of Baewic belie actually how incredibly crowded this city is. And many times you have to actually stop and let traffic pass by, as a cart will get stuck or an intersection will just get blocked for a moment before you can get around. And as you look at these houses that are built on side to side, many of them are multi-story with storefronts in the bottom, but multiple residences on top. And the first kind of skyscraper, in at least as much as you can go with a 4 to 5 story building, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. Not a very large city, but built on top and higher. So much so that many parts of the city are completely enshrouded in shade as you go from A to B. However, making your way past a more open part, you cut through the center plaza of Baewic, where you can see an easily 100-meter tall oak tree that spreads out in all directions with great bows of orange and gold and green, the colors of fall only just starting to take effect to it. However, a little bit to your left, as you can spot, though not nearly as tall but equally impressive, is the infamous Atronus Tower that you have been attempting to get into. Walled on 3 sides by a very beautiful looking fence outlined with a orchard of some sort. You can see little apple trees here or there with a handful of apples just casually seem like getting picked by an invisible force and floating into nearby bushels that are then picked up and carried by individuals into the tower itself.
Interesting.
Well, what time of day is it?
Midday.
And is it like a 2-hour walk from the port to the tower?
About an hour getting through the city. It's a bit of a hike.
Yeah, just kind of want to get a grasp for how big town is. Yeah.
It's not so much the size of the city, it's the issue, it's the congestion.
Okay.
Makes sense. Sounds about right for cities.
Definitely tracks.
Accurate.
23 will point at the tower and gesture for everyone to go forward.
Can't you talk yet? It's been like, I don't know, like a week or something.
You tried punching your throat?
23 will punch his throat.
Make a Tinker's Tools check.
Are those Tinker Tools?
It can be.
What would that? I'll just roll a d20. What do you want me to add to it? I'm not proficient. It's just a 20.
Just roll a straight 20 then.
3.
He now sounds like Tempest.
So much.
That may not be the best way to go about fixing your voice, 23.
But you.
I think the silence was better.
Hey, at least he can warn us if there's danger.
He'll warn everyone that there's danger.
Yes.
Best way to warn of danger.
Unless the danger's been warned that we're warned of the danger.
Well, we could also just stick him out on a nice sandy beach with a spotlight, and he could make sure ships don't crash into rocks. I think they'd pay us for that.
23 is once going to gesture towards the tower.
Okay, we're going.
Reynard left them behind once they started having this
I was about to say, I was
Walking
gonna be
past everybody. I don't know him.
looking at Renard to like lead the group forward because he is the smarticle particle of us all.
Ooh. The smarticle particle. Nicknames!
And then I will follow behind.
And yes, Tempest giggle snorts.
Thanks. Was that in the... Oh, gosh darn it, Twitch. Don't hurt me like this. Don't hurt me like this.
Making your way around the towers, you kind of have to go past the three gates or the three fences to get into the main open spot. You can actually see the open orchards have a variety of not common fruits that you would find in this far north. Citrus, you could see oranges and grapefruits and banana trees in this little orchard. And walking immediately in this presence of this tower, you are greeted by much more humid and warm air, as if this little environment was encased in some sort of magic that controlled the weather to make it just a little bit warmer, a little more humid, and the sun just seems all the brighter in this particular location. In front of you is the golden or the white and red marble of the tower. It's about maybe 6 or 7 stories straight up, with great archways in the front that lead into the building itself.
This is a very impressive tower.
I don't understand magic.
I
Very
mean,
weird.
it's not about the size.
To
don't
them
know.
it is.
I wonder how they keep the temperature so warm in here.
I would assume magic.
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
I couldn't help it.
just gonna
So,
look
are we going
at
in?
Tempest confusingly.
Oh right. Sarcasm. You, not the best.
So is there any magical trinkets that we should be looking for as a group? If we find one? Any specific?
Hard to say.
I would think that anything that makes us survive better would be good.
I mean, sure, there are lots of magical trinkets that could be useful, but they also tend to be on the more expensive side.
But there should be something that we can buy for a little bit. Not something rare or anything, but something decent.
You might get a book that doesn't get burned, or something that won't suffer water damage. I don't know how much more expensive items would get. I haven't dealt with those a lot myself. Maybe there's no point sitting around and discussing it. We could just ask someone.
I do like the idea of just looking at the price tags.
I am most interested to see if they have a library anyway.
Okay, are we going in?
Yes.
Alrighty then. Stepping into the front archways, you are greeted by 2 immediate distinct things. One, the interior of this building belies how incredibly large it is compared to the exterior. So much so that you could probably squeeze 3 of the building's interior to its exterior. It is absolutely enormous, almost like an emporium of some sorts, where it is kind of an open forum with a great spiraling staircase in the center that seems to go up to the top, where you can see what looks to be just a single lady at a single desk, as if she's writing in there. But across the walls are any number of stairways that go up to various platforms across it that have trinkets, magical items, nondescript items of interest, just stuff. But it's all neatly organized. And there's actually a great many people in here, some of which look to be shopping, others look to be just kind of, chatting with other people. A few are pointing at specific items and kind of like they're looking at it before they'll call out something, and you can actually see the item will float off of its intended rack and then center off to the center point where the lady in with the white braided hair sits.
Fancy.
There's many shops in here.
Reynard will just go ahead and approach and say, how are you doing this fine evening?
Okay. Ascending the stairs itself takes about 2 minutes, but as you trog your way to the top, she is an absolutely beautiful looking woman who couldn't be more than 30, 35, but despite that, her hair is shocked white and neatly braided down where she wears the standard colors of the white and blue of the Empire. Reynard will be able to mark her as an archmage in authority. We'll then smile at him and, well, hello there.
Yes, we're here to do a little business, shopping, research, things of that nature.
Certainly. What may I help you with? Mr.
Montaigne.
Monte, of course. Pleasure to meet you. I am Zarama Atronus.
Zarama Atronus, I see. I'm personally just looking for some material components, maybe a little bit of research. I don't suppose you have any special access for people, students of the conservatory.
Oh. Have you identifying papers or markers?
I'm assuming he does, because he is a student of the conservatory.
You would actually have a badge or a pin that could be put onto your book, or as a pin and a badge, or anywhere you really want to put it.
He will just pull that out of a pocket and show it to her.
Okay. The lion emblem with the 8-pointed circle behind it, signifying the schools of magic, will show. Of course. I do have a limited selection for students if they are so interested, though it does vary on what they want. It's more of what topic would you wish to research, and I will have the books fetched for you.
Anything having to do with the history and study of the prevention of the stillborn dead would be where I'd like to start.
Of course. Might I casually inquire why you're interested in such a topic?
Personal interests that may bleed into more practical ones.
I see. Well, it will take me a little bit of time to collect the book. I do have a great many customers who I have to attend to. Perhaps you should return this evening, and I will have it ready for you.
If it's not ready by the time I'm done shopping.
It won't be, but I will certainly endeavor. You are a student, so it will be a discounted rate, but there is a research fee.
I'm sure.
That's 5 gold to borrow the book for the evening.
That should suffice.
Thank you very much.
And of course, if this discount would extend to any associates who are traveling with me, we are an adventuring crew. We go by the title of Mist Fortune. We have our adventuring charter here. Someone is carrying it.
She will actually lean down and start writing into a book as she takes this note. Mist Fortune, of course. I would gladly have that ready for you. It will take a little bit of time. Why don't you attend by 5th or 6th bell?
Sure. Other than that, material components and where I may be able to procure them, where would I be directed to for that?
Of course. I have an absolutely immense catalog of items. You merely have to describe what kind of thing you would like it to happen, and it shall be made available if it is at all possible. I have potions aplenty and magical items galore.
Well, I'm not looking so much for the magical items so much as I'm just looking for... He will open up his spellbook and double check what items he's particularly looking for in this instance.
I have spell scrolls available. So those that are most common costed about 60 gold apiece of this first circle. and increasing in price as you go further along the mage circles.
And you don't allow individuals to just consult books directly at a cheaper cost. As buying spell scrolls just describe spells is very inefficient.
Well, some wizards do happen to buy the scrolls so they may practice the incantations and scribe them into their own spell books. But those will cost a little bit more.
I understand. I figured if you have spell books at your discretion already, it'd be far cheaper to simply loan them out for people to scribe from them. And far more efficient, as you would not have to scribe the scrolls yourselves.
Yes. You have to understand that spell books are notoriously difficult to acquire unless you are already registered with the conservatory.
I just assumed, like back at the conservatory, you may have spell books that have been donated from wizards who have passed due to time.
And that's what you get for assuming, no?
Perhaps that is my fault for assuming the tower was as well equipped as the conservatory.
Ooh.
At this time, 23 is going to approach, take his greatsword off his back, and point at it to the
I think
to the lady.
Better weapons.
She'll raise a brow.
I will nod my head.
A warforged.
Yes, his voice is broken.
And another warforged, ooh.
And what would you need for me to do with this weapon?
I think he wants a
don't know.
better one.
Yes, 23 will nod his head at that.
I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. What?
He wants a better one.
A better greatsword. Oh, well. And she will gesture to one section of the wall. You could see about lined up are about 15 of them.
Oh, that's mean.
If 23 could go wide-eyed, he'd be wide-eyed.
I can see him staring, and I'm just like, oh, you broke him again. One more.
Depending on what you're desiring, they vary in price. Some are cheaper than others. I'm curious, are all of you registered through the Empire? Your adventuring group?
I'll take out
Yes.
the charter. Be like, yes, right here, see?
Oh, wonderful. Then, of course, you are already registered. That means you are able to purchase magical equipment. If you wish to purchase a simple striking enchantment, it will simply be, I believe, the going price on that one over there, and she'll point to one, is about 1,050 gold.
What does striking do? Just +1?
And they only go up in price from there, I'm afraid.
Oh, jeez.
23 will sheath his sword and look defeated and walk away.
As you're doing this, Reynardi's just giving you a look like, I told you this shit is expensive.
So we talked a little bit about how last week I would have criminal contacts in town. Would I know where I can get it cheaper?
Potentially.
I have to roll, don't I?
Yeah. And you have to go looking for them.
It's been a problem lately for me.
Do you have any books on alchemy?
I actually do not. Of all the things I do, those are currently coveted by Sebastian at Potions 11.
Very well.
Of course.
There's a boat named Sebastian and also a person named Sebastian. I'm taking it.
It's almost as if it's a common name.
Is there a crab named Sebastian?
Yeah, under the sea.
She's trying to be straight-faced. She's trying.
Do you happen to carry any magical trinkets? Maybe not weapons, just other oddities that are magical?
I have a great deal of magical trinkets. It depends on what you want them to do.
I tried to ask my group here if they had any recommendations. I guess I'm just looking for something fun.
Something fun. Let me see. And she goes through her catalog.
I'm like, what about something that makes you stab better?
Ooh, I do have an immovable rod, but you bashed at 1,000 gold, then you are definitely not going to like 5,000.
I hate this place and love it.
I shall take that as a compliment to you.
What about something that helps me shoot better? You know, maybe something.
I recommend aiming.
Races. Oh, good. That's fair.
Well, so are my prices, apparently.
I said I love the place. Jeez.
If there's nothing else, I'm afraid I do have other business to attend to.
Yes, you see, we seem to get off the topic of my material components. I need a diamond with 50 gold pieces and several spools of copper wire.
That will be easy to do. And she'll snap her fingers, and there's a brief shimmer from downstream as a few of the arcane hands will lift up what looks to be a spool of wire made out of pure copper. I believe this will be sufficient for you.
Yes, and how much is this going to cost?
This spool is a simple 35 gold.
He actually looks at it for a second. I see.
I just like
gold.
in awe, and I go, "This bitch is insane."
Corn, don't speak corn. Don't speak corn. Don't speak corn.
Just a diamond.
Look, I'm already an asshole.
Speaking of other languages, you wouldn't happen to have any how-to books on how to learn other languages, would you? Dictionaries.
I think I do have one for Elvish somewhere. I'd have to go find it.
I do already have proficiency with that language.
Unfortunately, those kinds of things are not commonly requested. If you were to find a library of that kind of sorts, I believe the only one that I can think of is in Crimson Witch.
Very well. Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else I can get for you, darlings?
Is the rod the
Diamond, of course,
only...
diamond, 50 gold. One moment, and she'll do the same mage hand where a simple thumbnail-sized diamond will just kind of settle down.
Do you do any enchanting?
I have been known to do that from time to time, yes.
If I wanted to be able to enchant my eyes to see in the darkness, how much would that cost?
Ooh, I have never worked on a Warforged. I don't know. I'd actually have to think about that and research it. Why don't you come back tomorrow?
Very well.
That would be an exciting... I don't think he's worked on a Warforged in 200 years. So
Yes.
would be absolutely ecstatic.
Well, I
And
mean,
then I could see in the dark.
you have to be very careful with him. You know, he's very delicate.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not so much. I am actually fairly modular.
Oh, it's the Omnitech that was placed inside your form.
What was that word?
Omnitech?
Just gonna look at her curiously.
Your
I wouldn't know what that is, would I?
No, it's a new word to you.
Okay.
The modular capabilities of your frames. Each of you are designed to be able to swap in and out through varying forms.
Ah,
On the surface.
that would explain it.
It's been some time since I've read about Warforged. You see, you're hard to find these days.
Yes, we have gone by the wayside a bit.
We still see you from
Not
time to time, but for the most part, no.
You wouldn't happen to know where more of us congregate, would you?
Oh, it's been a few years since I've seen one. I believe the most you'll be able to find is somewhere in Marcera. You can find their remnants, unfortunately, all across the battlefields of the Somerset Plains and Ishinon.
Since she said Marcera, would I know anything about that? Could I just be like, oh yeah.
There are a few here or there, mostly serving as bodyguards to various nobles.
Okay. I'd probably just relay that. Just be like, oh yeah, I've seen that.
That harkens all the way back to session 1 then. I guess Reynard would have seen lots of Warforged in his time then.
From time to time, yeah.
Because back then, I remember us asking about it, and you said, no, I probably had never seen a Warforged before.
They would be the higher-end nobles, but it would be a very rare occurrence if you had seen them.
Well, if everybody else is satisfied, I think we're done here.
Did you buy the spool of elect copper, or
Not the wire, but he bought the diamond.
Okay.
That had a set price.
I'm just curious, is the rod the only trinket you carry here, or is there anything a little more simple?
Oh, well, I have a great many things.
What is the cheapest thing you actually have here?
Oh, what's the cheapest thing?
Well, I'm just getting a range.
Well, let's see. She will look through her catalog for a moment. I have some enchanted ammunition.
Bolts?
I do. At 25 for a quiver.
I'm more of a dagger.
That's it?
25 gold for a quiver.
How much is a quiver? Like 20?
20 rounds.
Of enchanted ammunition.
Yes. Excuse me, there's somebody at my door. One moment.
Okay. She's selling all this stuff really expensive. And the quiver full of enchanted ammo is 25 gold?
I mean, that's still a golden arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can recover it, theoretically.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Once
Use it, it's
shoots shot.
expended.
Yeah, you can get the bolt back, but it's just a regular bolt then.
That's right.
It is still a fair price. That's the cheapest you're going to get that at.
About the fairest price I've seen in this place.
This part of A Land of Dark Dreams is brought to you by milk. Milk. Drink it.
Is it though?
No, it is. We're sponsored by cows.
I
No, we're
apologize for that. Apparently, everybody's bringing things in for Hurricane. No issues, though. Everything's already been brought in.
You didn't see anything.
I see a jar of milk.
It's a carton of milk.
At least it's not a bag of milk. Stares at Canadians.
All of those things are wrong. That's a jug, not a carton or a jar. A carton just is made of a cardboard product.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Who cares?
yes, a single quiver of 20 rounds is 25 gold.
I will buy 20 shots of enchanted ammo. Is it just +1?
Yep.
Sure, why not?
And so one will float over nearby and just kind of settle in front of you with a wonderful little ribbon around the outside to keep them sealed. And she will snip them off, and there's a brief flash as whatever Renard recognizes some sort of modified alarm spell is then taken off of it, and she will hand them to you and take your gold.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Anything else that we should see before we go?
Well, I need to come back later for some research, but I can do that while everybody else is having dinner or shopping elsewhere.
I think
Yes, I'm all set here.
I'm probably gonna at least spend some time just walking around looking at trinkets and see if there's anything cool for me. But
Okay. Make an investigation check.
already, I am subpar at those.
If you find anything that lets you shoot better, let me know.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna find anything.
Nothing really sticks out to you. You do manage to find it's dust of disappearance.
I'll probably look at that and be like, what does this do?
She'll look over. It does exactly what it says, darling. And it also is priced at 300 gold.
I don't know what it does, but I'll buy it.
Oh God.
It will float off.
I'll drop 300.
What did you find, Roman?
Dust.
You're back.
It looks like a small packet resembling a very fine sand. Enough for, you figure, about one use. And the little instructions that will read on it, if you throw the dust in the air, you and each creature and object within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes.
Aren't you already super sneaky? Do you really need that?
Well, it's mine now. Do you want to buy it?
No, you'll
400
price
gold.
it up. Yeah, see? No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I've got you figured out.
Sorry about that.
I wonder what else they can find in here.
A lot if you have the money. If the Empire is good for one thing, and he's saying this, I'm assuming we're moving like a little bit away from the woman, more searching. If they're good for one thing, it's making stuff and extorting the people to get it.
Yeah,
There's
very
another
good
one you
at
pass
that.
by called Sovereign Glue. It forms a permanent adhesive bond between any two objects.
That would be fun.
We can glue the cloaks together.
That is not what I would consider its primary purpose, but yes, you could do that.
How much is it?
Let me see my price. 400 gold.
Wow! Holy shit!
It's a freaking like joke product.
It's
super
really good
useful.
glue.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that is
super
not
useful.
what I'm having this
application will
expression. It forms a bond that can only be broken by the universal solvent, an oil of etherealness, or a wish spell.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, that's really powerful.
Someone want to loan me 102 gold?
I don't trust you with it. I will end up with a chair on my butt.
Could I
Forever.
also make an investigation check to see what I could find?
Sure.
You can find 102 gold to give me.
I probably could, but I mean,
He's found that. He's not doing it though. Those are separate things.
look, it's better than Romans.
You find a few different things. You find dust of dryness, something called the oil of slipperiness, potions of all sorts. You even managed to find something called an Ioun stone, which is way beyond your price range.
Oh.
One of them is, you look at a few of them, one of them is marked at 64,000 gold.
Who buys
Roman.
this stuff?
You're close. You only need 63,700 gold more.
But I want this. And I'm still standing next to the glue.
You can't be trusted with that.
It has nothing to do with trust. It's want.
23 will walk over, give him hold up the bear cloak, and then the cloak of protection, and nod at at Roman.
23, why would you not just put the bear cloak on over the cloak of protection?
Don't question my methods.
It must be permanent.
If it wasn't 400, I probably would use it for that. But if it's 400, it has to be used for something even more important.
23, I could likely brew you some glue later today.
23 is gonna walk. He's just gonna walk out disappointed at this point. This place has been nothing but tragic for him.
Buy the
There was
glue.
so many I'll walk out with them. I'll be like, but you got to see all those lovely souls, didn't you? Wasn't
There's-
that lovely?
There's things that I want, but I need to save my gold. Being responsible.
Okay. Where are we going
Like an
next?
adult. I guess we're going to the gun shop.
Yeah!
23 is gonna go check out the tree.
Guns!
Bang, bang!
I like guns.
I want to learn how to make them.
Did we lose Beth?
Possibly.
Mm,
Potentially.
I don't. Yep. I think
Frozen.
she is.
You know, she's
frozen.
in deep thought.
And
Beth, come
really good
back.
at holding herself perfectly still.
Beth, come back to us.
She's deciding to give me the glue at a cheaper price.
I don't think that's not happening. I don't know why I'm talking like Tempest. Oh.
Nope.
We
Oh.
lost her and then
Oh.
got her back.
I
Okay.
got her. Although that probably means, oh, look, I'm the GM now. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I got disconnected for a brief moment. Kurt's probably going into a high panic. We'll get fixed in just a minute. I'm so sorry, guys.
But I was the DM.
Oh, if you want to DM, go ahead. I'll sit right
Oh.
here.
No, I'm not prepared.
How much?
Quick, give us a deck of many things.
500
There are a
gold.
bag of beans in the tower.
Bag of beans. All right, so where are we going next?
Weston Smithen.
23 is heading to the tree.
The
Oh.
tree. Okay.
Weston Smithen.
Is the laughing axe a blacksmith, or is it just like a weapon shop?
Go in there when you find out.
All right, I'll go there.
Okay. Making your way into Wesson Smithen's, the first thing you notice about it is there are a lot of people looking in through the windows. And you hear the occasional loud of something loud being detonating inside before people go, whoa!
Well, that sounds cool.
Promising.
I guess the subtlety is not something that they're going for.
Have you seen those things? They're not subtle.
As you kind of look inside the window where all the people, mostly kids, are watching, you see two tieflings, male and female, of red skin, both of them with blonde hair. One of them is holding what looks to be a very long bored rifle, just kind of aiming it down the range, where the building itself is about 10 meters long from one end to the other. And you can see a straw man kind of wiggling back and forth as it's been shot by something, and a puff of smoke off the end of whatever rifle was just shot. And then he kind of winks to the crowd before he puts the rifle away and sits down somewhere else. Looks like he's going back over to a workbench.
Oh, look, he's charming. Wonderful.
I want one of those.
The tiefling or the gun?
The gun. Why would I want a tiefling?
Look, I don't know your preferences.
I don't follow.
Tempest just sighs and goes inside. It's like, sarcasm, why do I try?
Missed him on both barrels, I'm afraid.
I'll follow Tempest inside.
I think that expression makes sense because we're shopping here.
I was like, ooh, if Tempest was outside, he'd approve.
Alrighty. Making your way in, you are greeted at first by the tiefling gentleman, who will turn at all of you with a big, kind smile on his face. Welcome, my friends, to Wesson Smithens. I am Smithen. What can I help you with?
We are just very interested in these very unique weapons. Very, very nice.
Well, they are unique indeed. A brand new invention straight out of my shop, completely stolen from somewhere else I was inspired by a long time ago.
That is the best way to make money.
I know. Are you interested in purchasing a firearm?
I'm afraid I would be just terrible at using it. It seems very complicated.
Well, they do require a little bit of fine-tuning and handling. I cannot deny that. But they are a weapon unlike any other.
What would you say the benefits are, as opposed to, and I'll just take out my light crossbow and be like, this seems pretty efficient. I can get my bolts back. Are you getting your tiny things back from that thing you just shot?
No.
I see benefits to the crossbow then.
Mine hits harder, is more accurate at long range, and is easier to reload, providing it doesn't jam.
What was that?
Providing it doesn't jam. Listen, what I'm going to tell you right now is this is the new state of the art. This is the future. When these things go, I almost said viral, but that doesn't seem like quite the right word.
These things go medieval.
No, viruses do spread quite quickly.
Actually,
you're not wrong there. We'll use viral. When these things go viral,
that's the way to sell your product.
Look, still in getting used. Look, this is brand. Anyway, can I interest you in purchasing a firearm?
How much is a firearm? Is that what you call it?
It depends on what kind of firearm you're looking to buy. I've got all sorts of them. And he'll pull out what looks to be a small little palm pistol, an actual pistol, the musket that he's currently holding, and a few others of varying size.
What if I want something, let's say I've got a sword, and I'd like to be able to also use one of these fine things, which would be your best one?
You want to have one in one hand and one in the other, and a sword in the other?
Seems efficient in case they get close.
Well, then you're definitely going to want this, my friend. And he will hold out what looks to be a pistol. This large contraption is much larger than any hand crossbow by about a size and a half again. But it's just the coolest looking thing with little gears and gizwizzes across the side that click and whir as he chalks it back, loads a shot into it, loads it up. Would you care for a demonstration?
I won't say no.
Fire your crossbow at that target.
I'll spin, turn, fire.
Make an attack roll.
It's very much a
Natural
regular.
one. Natural one.
No, shut up. Shut up. This won't happen this week. It's gonna be a good week.
Please.
I'm not there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
With an easy thunk. Make it okay. Roll damage.
Oh, I need to. Oh, shoot. Yes.
It lands with a solid thunk and kind of gets stuck in there for a moment. He goes, very nice. And he'll pull out the pistol and fire it downrange. Make some rolls.
Reynard plugs his ears as he aims, just expecting it to be very loud.
Oh, it's very loud. And he actually lands on your arrow perfectly and not only splits it, but obliterates the arrow with a nice big smoking hole where the point was. And you hear the crowd outside is cheering.
I wanted to retrieve that.
Oops.
Damn it. But fine. You've made your point.
Can I interest you in it?
How much is it?
This pistol goes at a simple price of 150 gold.
Michael is skeptical. Tempest is probably looking very interested.
A reasonable price.
I'm like, what is this nonsense? That's affordable.
I'm just gonna lean into Tempest and be like, "That seems very affordable."
Kevin, thank you. I mean, it sounds wonderful, but I don't know. Out of character question, fighter is not proficient with firearms.
No, you are not. That requires specific proficiency. You can either take through a feat or through the gunslinger archetype.
Which I didn't take, because I didn't think this was going to be a thing. Dang. Oh well.
You could take the gunslinger feat, but
I know. But I
must ask before my friend here decides to purchase this object. How much is the replacement, and how easy the replacement shot, and how easy it is to procure?
well, ammunition is for a pack of 40 or 20 bullets is 4 gold. Replacing shot in the black powder you need, you can find that from town to town. You can go down the road over here and find black powder at Orilly.
How much would it cost me to get the black powder, though?
I have a market deal with him for a good barrel size, about 1,000 gold's worth.
Yep, there's the sticking point.
It might be worth it in the long run, Tempest, but what you're buying here is an investment.
It's very true. I'm already bad sometimes with the crossbow. I don't need to be always bad with a gun.
I may also be able to help you make the gun better, Tempest.
Oh, you have the thing that means I don't have ammo, right?
No, I have that.
Oh, well, in general, you have that.
Yes. But I do have the repeating infusion, but it's on my crossbow currently.
Well, I would steal that from you, but maybe, at some point down the road, maybe. Would it still require black powder with that infusion?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't expend the ammunition, but the firing mechanism requires it.
Okay, got it. I'll just kind of look and be like, this is all very lovely, but I don't know if I have the time to get good with this and still be effective. Do you offer training when you purchase one of these or anything like that?
I actually have a manual.
Damn it. How much is the manual?
200 gold.
Oh, that's affordable. Damn it.
Look at it this way. You could buy the manual and come back for it later. It's not like you're going to be using it tomorrow.
I could be using it tomorrow. That could be very much a thing.
Why am I here? This is your money and your decision. Reynard's going to walk outside.
Reynard?
How much does the big one cost?
What is the big
The one I'm currently holding?
Is he currently holding the musket?
300 gold.
Not bad either, really.
No, it is not.
I think I will do how much damage is the pistol? 1d6?
Pistol? 1d10.
What?
Yeah.
Shit, I'll do this and the damn manual. Let's do it.
That's
long-
what did I say, 250 gold? Or no, 350 gold for them all.
350 gold because it's 200 for the manual.
Yep.
Oh, well.
All right, then. He will pull out an instruction manual and kind of look at it for a moment, look back up at you. Can you read Infernal?
No, do you have one in common?
I don't.
I can't buy this then. I can't read it.
Tempest, I can translate it for you.
You can translate this for me.
Yes.
Lake is just dying of laughter over there.
That's such a shady salesman pitch. It's like you can read this other language, right?
No, I can't. Why would you assume I read a random language like Infernal? Actually, hold on. Can I read? No, I can't read.
At least he told you before he sold it to you.
That's true. I was like, okay, so Kevin, when you say you can help me translate it, what do you mean by that?
I speak and read Infernal.
How big is this instruction manual? Is this like a thing he's gonna have to help me with like nightly?
It's about 60 pages, yeah.
So, okay, well, Kevin, we're gonna have a long night.
You could just find me a blank book and some ink, and I can just copy it over for you.
Or you could just sit down with me. If you're going to spend the time to do that, just sit with me for a while. Maybe I'll teach you how to... You wanted to do something, right? You wanted to learn
Many
something.
things.
You wanted to learn Primordial, wasn't it?
As one of the many languages I wish to acquire, yes.
How about this? You help me with this, I'll tell you what everything means in Orin.
That seems like a fair deal.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for the infernal thing.
Of course. I hope to see you again soon.
And ammo didn't come included, did it?
No.
Okay, so I need to buy the ammo, the 20 round.
Okay, that's 4 gold for 20 shot.
Yep, I'm good to go.
And how much for the palm pistol?
I was like, just close my manual. One moment while I break it out again. Thinking I was done here.
Apparently all your archers are about to go into sharpshooters.
I am trying to sell it to the Dark Laws. I am working out a deal with them. Palm pistols at 50 gold.
I will buy the musket and the palm pistol, please.
Well, that'll be 350 gold.
And what was the one I bought particularly? It was a pistol, right?
A pistol, indeed.
Now I have to do math.
It's not popping up on D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm not proficient with it. There we go.
There we go. One
That's why.
down to very little money now.
Mm-hmm.
And may I buy 1 bag of ammo, please?
For both.
Just 1 bag of ammo.
Oh, that's different types of ammunition, I'm afraid.
Oh. I will buy 1 round for the musket then.
Oh, for the musket, that'll be 5 gold for 20 shot.
Okay.
And you're not buying ammo for the palm pistol?
No, I'm going to buy a bag for both.
Okay, it'd be 2 gold for the palm pistol and 5 gold for the musket.
Buttons.
Buttons. So many buttons.
All right. Let's change this from bolts to bullets.
Oh, right. I've got another thing to do.
Wasting money on guns when we could have had glue.
You're right. You're right. This is so less effective.
Look, I'm telling you, this place has got liberal laws. There's not even a background check around here.
I know. You just let me buy this for nothing. No credentials whatsoever.
Yes, this obliterated that target down there.
It did. I can't believe I'm just allowed to walk around with this.
Bye now. So, as you walk outside of Weston Smithens, what would you all like to do?
Is it almost evening at this point?
Yeah, mid to late afternoon, 2-3 o'clock.
Okay.
I did want to go to Potions 11 and see if I could get any books on alchemy.
I will split off from the group. However, I will take a shopping list. Renard, I'll be like, Renard, you needed some kind of wire. What was that again?
I was looking for copper wire.
Maybe I can find a good deal for you.
I'm not really going to spend all that much on it, so don't go too expensive.
No, not at all. It's copper wire. Why would I pay anything like 35 gold for it? That's stupid.
It's not a big deal if you can't find it. That's fine. I found a diamond. That's something.
Well, I'm going to go see if I can find a contact or two in the city and maybe find some discounts.
Okay. I'm going to head back to the Eternus Tower. I don't imagine she's found the book, but I'm going to take care of a little clerical work while I'm there.
I guess everyone else...
If you find 23 over by the tree, just grab him and make sure you all stay together.
I forgot he went to the tree. That's right.
All right. As we all split off in our different directions, I guess we'll start with who's going to Potions 11?
That would be me.
All righty. You enter into a building which on its immediate outside looks to have been distinctly separated by at least 6 meters around it from every other building. And the ground around it, curiously enough, looks like it's been recently scorched or burnt down. The building looks fresh and brand new, though. Circular building, green roof, simple door in the front.
Okay, I'll go in.
Mwah. I love you, kitten, but you need to get off my lap. The building itself is not particularly large. Only about 3 or 4 meters across from one end to the other. But sitting behind a desk is a very wiry, thin-looking gentleman with hair that's kind of parted right way down the middle, completely slicked, but with crazy, wild, frayed ends on both sides that look like it's always trying to jump off. And as you open the door, he goes, "Oh, hello."
Hello.
Oh no.
What can I do for you?
I'm here to inquire about books for alchemy.
Books for alchemy?
Yes.
I write those.
I have heard this.
Well, I got great many books as he starts dashing off to a side room where he just vanishes for a brief moment.
Excitable fellow.
As I look up my... Oh, I guess I got rid of it. Damn!
Uh-oh.
No! It's floating around here somewhere.
Improvise!
There it is. He'll then run back out. So, what kind of books were you looking for?
Mostly recipe books.
Recipe books?
Yes.
Well, I got quite a few. It depends on where you are and what you're looking for. I've got one right here, and he pulls out this big, thick tome. Boom! This has documented every herb that I have been able to research and gather within the Empire, including the alchemical formula you needed to build a potion out of them.
That would be very useful.
I bet it would. How much gold you got on you?
That seems like an odd way to set a price.
Well, it's because I don't have one for it. But I am looking to retire.
You said it has a rough amount of recipes in the book?
Over 300.
How would 150 gold sound for it?
Staring contest?
Yes.
He's waiting for you to give him a prize.
Oh, I said, how would 150 gold sound for it?
Oh, I guess I cut out 150 gold. He goes, I can't retire off that. That wouldn't last me 3 days. Have you seen the prices in this town?
No, I just got here a couple hours ago.
They're insane.
What about a lesser book?
Wow. And pull out another one. Well, I've got the local flora and fauna of the Eastern Alcidian coast. Well, excuse me, Western Alcidian. Yeah, the Western Alcidian coast. The one we're around. That part.
Eastern.
That one. I'll sell that one to you for 150.
How many recipes would be in that book?
He kind of scoots through it. 6.
Would you do it for 100?
No. He actually pulls up a price tag.
What about any potions of healing?
Those I have lots of. 50 gold apiece.
I will buy one of them, please.
Of course. And he'll reach around and pull onto the desk and just bloop, dink, settles down a glass of red glowing liquid.
I'll pass him 50 gold and put that in my pocket. Well, I wish you a good day.
And I wish you one as well.
And I will leave the shop.
Okay.
And that's pretty much... do we say where we were meeting?
Shit, we always forget that.
I'm just going to go find 23 at the tree and wait for everyone else.
The tree was the only location mentioned, so I'll assume that's where we'll go.
Yeah, I'll go find 23 at the tree.
Okay. He's hard to miss, so.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll just wait there for the rest of the group.
Okay. Oh, Bernard, you're going back to the Charnus Tower.
Yep.
Okay.
He's not going to try and buy anything. He's just looking for a quiet place to working on his spell book while he's waiting for the book to be delivered.
The foyer is not particularly quiet, but you do find a side room that will let you do so.
Yeah, his plan was to come here. He's going to scribe another first level spell, and he is going to take some time to identify. He's attuned to the staff. The staff has been identified. He himself is going to spend some time identifying it, both the staff and the gym itself, seeing if he can distinguish anything that they have not yet discovered about it.
Okay. Are you using the spell identify?
Yes.
Okay. I will give you the spell card for it here in a little while.
And since I don't think I'm really on a time limit, I'll just go ahead and do it ritually, because why not?
Yep. I can find my notes for it. Okay. It looks like the gem itself is some sort of garnet that has been enchanted with the necromantic magic that you had seen before. The staff itself is only a ruined quarterstaff built with the +1 enchantment that you had detected earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like most of its magic is contained inside the gem itself for all of its necromantic power.
And as far as I can tell, the quarterstaff feeds off of that to gain its enchantment.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That is just what Renard's going to do.
Okay. Tempest, make an investigation check.
I'm really good at those, because whenever I say that, it goes well.
You have advantage because of your criminal contact background.
Oh, sweet. It might actually go well.
Double natural.
Okay.
Oh, no. Chuckling.
Alrighty. Give me just one moment.
Nervous I am.
And just bring up my notes for where you're going. Alrighty then. Okay. You make your way through the various streets and alleyways before you find yourself in front of an inn. An inn where on the front door you can see a rat nailed to the front.
Charming.
And it is so titled, The Dead Rat Inn. One wonders.
Lovely.
The rat is replaced every once a week or so, depending on the smell. Walking in, you find two humans at the bar, both of which look nearly identical, were it not for the fact that one has blonde hair and one has a lighter shade of more platinum blonde. But they will both look at you with a gentle smile and, welcome, my friend, to the Dead Rat Inn. How may I help you?
I love the decor, for starters.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. So, I'm in the mood for purchasing particular items. Magical, non-magical. Doesn't matter to me. But let's just say I went to Atronus Tower and it was very expensive.
Well, that's very unfortunate for you. We
Indeed.
might know a place where you can buy a few things if you are so inclined.
I would enjoy knowing a few places to buy things, yes.
Very well. Let me consort with the boss, and he will disappear around the corner for a brief moment.
The boss. Uh-oh. Is this the Baewic Mafia?
A few moments come by before a neatly dressed man in an immaculate tailored suit will come around from the corner, to whom you recognize. He will smile at you.
Oh no.
Well, hello, my friend. Wonderful to see you again. I had a feeling we'd meet again.
It's great to see him too. I totally remember him. Maybe.
This is the gentleman who you saw off the front the moment you got off the boat.
Ah, that's right. Okay, I remember now. I'll be like, pleasure. Not what
Indeed.
I expected in this establishment.
Indeed. That's an interesting item you're carrying. He'll point to the pistol at your hip.
Yes, well, you know, I'm getting a little bit tired of the crossbow. Thought I'd try something new.
As I understand it, you're trying to find some things to purchase.
Indeed.
What kind of things?
This one may sound a little basic, but hear me out. I'm looking for some copper wire, hopefully not priced at 35 gold a spool.
Anything else?
Magical items. I'd like to browse if possible, but
See, that's not quite how it works.
Of course. Like I said, if possible. But
What happens is you tell us what you're looking for. We go about acquiring it, and if thing that you're looking for is a little more difficult, it might require some favors on our end.
Of course. I just, was putting it out there.
Now, copper wire, not so much of a big deal. We can get that to you pretty cheap.
That would be
Don't,
appreciated.
Mind us asking what you're using it for?
My friend is a spellcaster. You know how they are.
Of course. Gedley's loop, I understand. I think we can arrange that for you. 15 gold sound reasonable for you?
That's definitely better than what I've heard, so certainly. Would you require that now upon delivery?
I will need it now, yes. I have to talk to a guy who knows a guy.
But of course, and I'll hand over 15 gold.
He'll take it from you and kind of goes to a side satchel. Come back tomorrow. We'll see if we'll have that ready for you.
Of course. And could I ask about other things while we're talking anyway?
Well, what kind of things are you interested in?
You
And
wouldn't
actually, as he's talking to you, he's behind the bar. His hands are kindly working at a drink as he puts like a glass with ice in it. He starts crushing up some mint and just throws it in there. Takes a lime and squeezes some in. You see him taking some rum, pouring it in there as well. Looks like he's taking some sort of sparkling water and just he's mixing it all together.
Sounds suspiciously like my favorite drink in real life, so that's weird.
Does it happen to be a mojito?
No, dark and stormy, but close enough.
Dark and Stormy's got ginger.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing that was different. Anyway, moving on.
Mojito happens to be my favorite drink.
Well, mojitos are delicious as well. But you wouldn't happen to have anything in particular that, and I'll kind of point at the crossbow and the gun and be like, helps a person shoot a little bit better, a little more accurately, would you?
Well, what you're asking is an enchanted weapon, and those are...
Not even particularly a weapon, perhaps something else enchanted, maybe braces, boots, a cape, something that's just a little bit more, makes you a little bit more effective at such things.
Let me rephrase. What you're looking for happens to be magic, and while copper wire is not particularly hard to get if you know who to talk to, magic items is a whole different story. You had to understand, inside the Empire, getting them's kind of tough.
Of course.
When you come back tomorrow, don't worry about the gold. We'll see about getting what you need. But it's going to cost it a favor.
Well, I was looking for work anyway, and I'm in town, so...
Oh, I think you'll be rather pleased with the job we have for you.
Is this job a solo mission, or would others be allowed?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to need help.
Encouraging. Well, in that case, I thank you for your business. I would hate to keep you from your mojito. I will go meet up with my friends.
Of course. I'll be seeing you soon. And just flash with a smile and a wink before he raises his glass and a cheers.
Indeed. Tempest will cheers as well. Down his drink and head out the door.
Okay. And it takes a couple hours for all of this to occur, so as it's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, you all eventually regather at the center tree with the exception of Renard, who is currently studying, doing wizard nerd stuff.
Nerd.
I think Roman wanted to go to the Laughing Axe.
Oh.
I figured it was just a quick shot. Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring up my notes. Laughing Axe is actually an inn.
Huh.
And as you walk in, a kind of a tightly bunned halfling will walk up to you with a big smile and even bigger tracts of land as she grins up at you. Hello, love. Welcome to the Laughing Axe. I'm Gertrude Goodberry. Nice to meet you. Are you looking for a night to stay?
Eventually, I'm just kind of just looking around the place. You got anything to drink?
I got lots to drink. How's an ale suit you?
Got anything harder?
Mike, you planning on staying?
Sure.
All right, well, it's 8 silver pieces a night. Dinner, if you want dinner, there's 1 gold. Drinks are 3 copper a pint.
I'm in.
All right, then. Why don't you put yourself up, boys, right there, and I'll be right with you.
All right. He'll pay the... It was 8 silver for the night, right?
8 silver if for the night, 1 gold if you wanted it with dinner.
Okay, so I'll pay the gold then.
Okay. A few more hours will pass by as she preps your dinner and you have a few really good drinks. It's a pretty decent ale. Stronger than most.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of forget about the whole meeting a tree since we didn't really talk about what we're gonna meet. So I'm just gonna stay here and keep drinking.
Okay.
Seems like a good time.
It's a nice tavern. It's antiquated in its design. Get the impression it's actually been here for a long time. Maybe even be one of the oldest buildings in the city. It has its fair stay of travelers and adventurers that come in and out, buying drinks, cheering, and having a good time. It seems reputable enough.
All right, I'll just kind of take in the crowd and keep on drinking and see where things go.
Okay. Tempest, as you're walking through the street, making your way to the center tree, you pass by an impressively large gentleman with absolutely rippling, bulging muscles, slicked back, bald head, and an easy smile on his face, and you happen to recognize the infamous Damon once again.
Be like,
Champion of the drinking, or the pie.
I was like, it was a pie eating contest, and I got cheated out of that victory.
But he'll look at you with a good smile on his face and goes, "Well, hi there. Nice to see you down there. You look kind of familiar."
How have you been? Damon, correct?
That's right. Hard to forget me.
You
How
are
you
quite,
doing?
You are quite unique. That's very true. I'm doing great. Just, enjoying Baewic.
Enjoying Baewic. Well, welcome to Baewic. It's nice to have it to get you up here. What brings you to town?
Oh, a variety of things. At the moment, work.
Work. Well, good place to find it here if you're so inclined.
Indeed. Seems like a very lucrative city where you can find opportunity.
Oh, it's there. Trust me. I'll give you a wink. Good to see you, though, little man. I'll as he kind of taps you on the shoulder. It's a good.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's broken. Okay, great. We had something to ask him, which I don't remember, but I assume Tempest would have.
I don't remember what you wanted to ask him.
Shoot. It was like a team thing, not necessarily a me thing.
Well, if you happen to look for me later, you might be able to find me at the Baewic Castle.
You get to stay in the castle. Lovely.
I can see Lake just going, "Stop it!" All right.
Sorry.
Glad to see you, though. Enjoy yourself. And he will carry on, walking past everybody as the crowd does that whole Princess Bride, as everybody just gets out from in front of him.
Well, he's certainly making his way downtown.
Busy walking fast, faces past.
And he's homebound.
That's just gonna kick me at one point. I know it. I can tell.
Putting a straight face and letting.
Oh no! My joke was so bad she disconnected.
See what you've done. See what you've
My
wrought with your
fault.
comedy.
This is all directly Tempest's fault and no one else's.
True. Sounds accurate. Oh well.
So we'll have to sacrifice him.
I'm doing a very good job of doing that myself. Don't worry.
It's the only way to get Beth's computer back online.
On the positive side, she did disconnect from the call this time. I was like, don't say it. But it was good.
I'm going to kill my ISP.
I thought you were gonna kill me, so I'll prefer that.
I
That name.
must have missed whatever awful joke you were saying because I lagged out.
That's fine. We've already chastised him for it. You may continue.
Okay. I was about to get off with, what are you guys going to do next?
Guess find an inn.
Meet at the tree and find it in, I suppose.
I don't know. 23
All
was
right.
headed to the tree to see what was there.
With casual conversation, you will find that the Brown Herald tends to be the more affluent of the taverns and inns. Definitely the best place to stay if you were looking for good drink and good food. And a pleasant night's rest. But it's more expensive. The Laughing Axe is a nice enough inn, cheaper than most, but it's comfortable, it feeds you, and likes to serve a lot of seafood. And they go down in price from there. Squid being the newest inn, kind of scruffy in its appearance. Toad and Duragar, even worse. Then as you go really far down, you've got the Dead Rat Inn, where you could stay for a single silver a night.
Nice.
But I hear it has a lovely atmosphere.
Definitely no one's getting shivved in that inn. You will
Never.
100% wake up with both your kidneys.
Maybe even both your lungs if you're lucky.
So, where would we like to go?
I'm not overly concerned with the quality of food or drink, so I will leave that up to you all.
You don't eat or drink.
Yes?
Perfect. Well, I'm a fan of slightly cheaper. Do we know how much cheaper, the Laughing Axe is compared to the Brown Herald?
Brown Herald's almost 3 gold a night.
Holy shit!
But you get great food, great drink, a bath, quiet place, room to yourself.
I'm feeling the laughing axe. I'm good. I don't need a
Okay.
fancy bath.
That's a single gold and a single silver, or a single gold for a night and for dinner.
I can handle that. It's a third of the price for just as good.
Gertrude's pleasant enough, is she? Well, it's nice to see all of you again. Or wait, nope, I don't know you. You're new. You're new in town. Well, how you doing?
It's like, it's lovely to see you too, ma'am. I don't know you.
I'm sorry, I see so many people in and out of my tavern. It's just hard to keep you all together, but it's nice to see all of you. It's nice to meet you.
Got you on the second one too. Long
Are we,
day.
are we all staying for the night?
I guess we would see Roman at this point.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, probably pretty schmasted.
We'd be like, "Oh, Roman, you found an inn.
I know those guys.
Oh, and alcohol. You found alcohol."
Hello, Roman.
Howdy.
We have a drunk rogue.
Can I make a tinkering tools check to try and fix 23 now that we're in the inn?
You can do that this evening, yeah, as you guys get ready for a long rest.
Ep. You're helping me read.
Let me try and fix this first. 23's voice being broken is a minor annoyance.
I don't know. I think it's been rather amusing this entire time.
Did you guys know the laughing axe is not a blacksmith?
I'm gonna look around and look back and look. Yes.
I did not.
It does appear to not be a
Careful
blacksmith. indeed.
tinker's check.
I wanted to buy armor, but I have booze.
I will go join him in drinking booze.
I'm just gonna start tinkering on 23's
Go ahead.
broken voice box.
13. Yep, that's enough. As you spend the next hour or so, just stop fidgeting.
I'll mix a mending spell in there if I have to.
Mending won't do that you much good, but it does take you about an hour and a half to get him fixed.
There, that should do it.
Fine.
Ah, you aren't honking anymore.
I think you finally did it.
That's an improvement.
Thank you. I appreciate it quite much. Well, I was going to curse you all first for not realizing that we never interrogated the necromancer, but
We did go to interrogate him, but he was swinging already. And they
Yes.
don't talk much when they're on a rope.
you are quite intoxicated, aren't you?
No.
I've been here for like an hour and a half, and he's already had like 7 more. And I don't know how many he had before that.
Well, you guys were going to the smith place, and I wanted to buy armor, and I bought booze.
Yes, Roman, look what I got. And I'll hold up the musket and palm pistol.
Ah! Is that, what were those called?
Firearms.
Fire. Those look like barrels, not arms.
I agree. The name is very confusing. Also, it doesn't look like there's any fire on them at all.
I believe the fire is inside the barrel.
Did you get any glue?
23 will go and look down the barrel.
Don't do this to home, kids.
It's like,
I don't believe there's any fire in here.
Well, I would have to pull the trigger first, and you wouldn't like that.
Why not?
You would take damage.
Well, one thing I was going to mention, Kevin, now that we're new city, new place, new people, perhaps we could try to find maybe some contacts to figure out where Skather might be.
Yes, I should have asked the mage. No doubt she is aware of him. I'm going back tomorrow to see if she can enchant my eyes. I will inquire then.
I shall join you.
and for
Very good.
tonight. And for tonight, Kevin, we're going to read.
Yes.
Boring.
Tempest bought a book in Infernal, and he does not speak Infernal. Or read it.
I don't do either of those things, no.
That just seems...
Can you believe that they charge 5 gold just to rent a book? A book.
Seems like a fairly fair price.
5 gold, you could like.
I don't know about
Took
A
a
lot of
gold
alcohol?
to sleep here tonight.
Tempest, would you like me to switch the infusement over to your new gun?
Wait, oh, the +1. Might be good, like training wheels.
Very well.
It might stop me from shooting other people.
I will need to tend to it after my sentry mode.
Speaking of which, we should probably ask the lady if we can just stand in the lobby tonight.
Well, Roman, why don't you ask her? You're quite familiar with her at this point.
What do you want me to ask her?
Never mind. Ma'am, is it okay if they just stand down here? They'll protect the inn.
Well, I do charge a loitering. Oops, wrong lady. I do charge a loitering fee. They're Warforged, right?
Yes,
2 silvers for the comfort of being in my house.
fair enough.
Yes, indeed. Does sound very fair.
I appreciate it.
I have marked that off.
And for the rest of us, it's a single goal for the night. How much is Roman's tab?
It's only 3 copper.
Oh, 1d10.
We're at 1d10.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Ooh. About 2 gold's worth of from the copper range. So you've been drinking pretty heavily. Or 2 silver, excuse me.
All right.
You've been drinking.
I'll say 2 gold, and next morning we found him dead.
Alcohol poisoning, it's a real bitch.
Yeah, that or he's drinking like Grey Goose or something.
He's drinking rum. He's a pirate, obviously.
I don't like rum.
Stereotyping Tempest.
Huh?
I like vodka.
Did you
Rum
just
is
say you
bad.
don't like rum?
Roman doesn't like rum.
Oh, about to say. Yeah.
Roman's
Get out
not
of
a...
my game.
He's not a stereotypical pirate.
Yeah. It's rude when you stereotype pirates like that.
Yeah.
Of all the things to stereotype, I think I'll get away with pirates the most.
Did you just assume my alcohol?
Oh no. You know what? This has been lovely. I'm going to bed. Kevin, we can do the reading thing. I guess you're going to sleep, aren't you?
All right.
No, I was getting ready to translate books for you.
Oh, perfect. Let's stay up for a little longer. It's only like 9 or 10.
Yes.
All right. You may mark 8 hours off for studying, or 8 hours, 2 hours off for studying Infernal.
Oh, I'm studying Infernal or Proficiency in Firearms?
Well, if he's directly translating it for you, he has to spend the time writing it.
Ah,
And then-
okay.
Then he can give you the book.
Oh. Got it.
See, I can't just read to you.
I thought he was just reading to me in like common.
It's not your bedtime story.
Like Microsoft, it's like Microsoft Sam reading to you.
Damn it. This is not what I expected. Okay. that's
First,
fine.
you must always remember the safety mechanism.
Laser everyone.
All right. I will
And
mark
keep your
off.
finger firmly on the trigger.
I will mark off
grasp it.
2 hours of Infernal. I said that I would teach him like Orin while I was doing that. Is that like equivalent for him?
One or the other.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of need to know how to shoot things, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Question, because I have that proficiency, could I just teach Tempest how to do it?
How to...
Shoot a gun?
guns.
No, because you're not proficient in them.
He is apparently.
Yeah,
Right.
artificers have the firearm proficiency.
Oh! Yes,
damn
but that's... You could directly teach him. It's still going to take time.
Right, but then I don't have to translate the book, so I mean, you wasted money on the book, but
Don't ask how this guy supposedly invented firearms, but a guy from who knows how long ago knows how to use them. Don't ask that question.
That's not the
Robots.
question I want to ask right now. But trust me, it's low on the list.
Well, didn't he say he
Robots.
stole it? So, you know.
As he points this out over us, like starting to learn Infernal, I'll be like, "You just bloody know how to do it. Why didn't you just tell me that?"
well, you seem very keen on buying the book.
Damn it, Kevin! It was 200 gold.
Maybe he'll give you a refund. You
No,
haven't
he
even opened it yet.
No, he won't.
It's okay. We'll have a fun RP moment from this. I'll be sad, but it's fine.
All right. You do have all the benefits of a long rest.
Enrage.
So, at what point are we going to go back to the tower and I get to actually study my book?
Everybody else gets a long rest. Renard is there still.
That's kind of the whole thing. Like, he spent the money so he could read this damn book.
Yes. Eventually, as about the 7th bell, she will come down with a pretty hefty-sized tome detailing the chronicles of the second calamity. Not so much a specific events of the stillborn dead as much as it is, well, he is definitely in it and there are chapters on it. It details a lot of the events that, at least as the Empire tells it, what happened to lead up to the events of the calamity and what happened directly during it.
Reynard will study as much of it as valuable. Actually, you know what? How big is it? You said this is a very hefty book, so I imagine it's going to be around 300 or 400 pages, something like that.
It's pretty hefty, yeah.
Well, there goes my chance of copying it throughout the night. Hold on, let me double check my spells. Yep, didn't take that one. Okay, that's not going to help. I am going to study, and I am just going to make... if I can bother for it, I'm going to buy just a plain book, not a spell book, just your average, everyday, mundane book. And I am going to copy as much information out of this book as I think will be useful.
Okay.
And I will spend all night doing it. I'll go without a long rest.
I believe a book is
25.
5 gold. Yeah. Okay. You are able to buy a book and start copying. Roll a 1d20. We'll say that's how many pages you were able to copy in the night.
That's pretty good.
Would being intelligent have any help with that?
It's not so much intelligence, it's just the tedious effort of constantly writing.
Oh, yes, the thing that wizards don't have a lot of experience in.
You're terrible at it.
This is my least favorite part of being a wizard.
You do manage to scribe down 14 pages of the book, starting from the beginning in the index, which are, 7 of them in of itself.
I'm not going to copy pages that aren't worth anything. I'm not going to copy an index for a book that I'm not going to be using.
Yeah, we'll say you managed to copy that about 14 of the most useful pages from the beginning.
God, 14 pages. How long did and I spent all night on this?
To write
14 pages?
Physically writing? Yeah, that's exhausting.
Jesus. 14 pages.
That's slow, right?
I would disagree with that, but okay, I guess that's what I'm being told. It's not like I'm coming up with it. I'm literally just watching one thing while writing in another.
Yes, I understand that. 14 pages.
All right, well, I'm done. Move on.
You gotta do the magic shit.
The rest of you awaken the following morning, rested and refreshed, except Renard, who is nowhere to be seen.
Guess I'd come downstairs and be like, he's not still at that damn tower waiting for his book, is he?
Really, you did not come here in the middle of the night. Me and Kevin stood watch all night.
No, that's right, you can do that.
We can.
Just as a note, I am going to shift both infusements, repeating shot to the musket and enhanced weapon to Tempest's pistol.
Okay, I'll put a +1 on it.
Okay.
I have a +5 to hit with it now instead of a 4. Yay.
There you go.
Okay.
Do I have to roll anything for hangover?
Roll if you could find Motrin. No, you're fine. I'm assuming you had enough to drink, but you did not get absolutely blitzed. Or did you?
It's like 6 drinks. 7 maybe.
Yeah, but I probably, if you guys were just sitting there copying a book, I would have been bored, so I probably would have kept drinking.
I mean, we were actually. Oh, right, we were reading the book.
You're reading and talking about books.
Did I? Sorry.
Damn books.
Since we learned that he was doing just the proficiency in firearms, do I gain firearms or infernal?
You're working on your way towards firearm proficiency.
Right, but he said he was just going to teach me how to do it.
Right. It takes more than 2 hours.
Right,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm gonna. That's why I was. Is it 2 hours in firearms, 2 hours in infernal?
2 hours in firearms if he's just
Okay.
reading you the book.
What is the total amount of hours for learning a new skill, or like language or something? Do we know?
I'd have to research that and get back to you. Double
Okay.
check.
Okay, I've got it written down. I just wanted to double check it.
Cool.
I think the normal dungeon or the DM's Dungeon Master's Guide said about a year, but I do abridge a few things, so I'll have to consult the guide, and I will do that on break.
If it takes that long, I might just be level 4 before then and have firearm expert.
If you want to.
It's tempting. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Moving on.
It's the difference between firearm proficiency and the gunslinger feat, because gunslinger feat does a couple extra things.
It's true. It has the like.
It's
break
it's
it
basically a crossbow expert for guns.
Right. Exactly. I have to decide which one I want to do now that I have the option.
All right. All right. What are the rest of you doing?
Roman is basically like putting his bandana like almost all the way over his eyes to try and block out as much sunlight from his face. And he's just kind of sitting there, and his hair's like all disheveled, and he's. So are we sleeping in today? Is that the plan?
No, I do not believe it was.
No, we're moving out. I hope you feel
Yeah.
okay.
I feel amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't look amazing.
Your voice is very convincing.
Yep, I'm a super convincing guy.
Usually, but the bags under your eyes are not helping right now.
He just pulls the bandana, he covers his eyes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yes, you're super charming now.
Mm.
Shall we let's head I'd like to head to the tower and see if Renard is doing okay.
I would like to head back there. I do need to inquire about getting my eyes enchanted.
To the tower.
Okay.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Making your way back in, you could find Renard in one of the side rooms, completely disheveled with a great little bit of shadow from the beard that is starting to grow, a little bit of bags under his eyes. He looks like he has been here all night.
Oh god, you look worse than him, and I point to Roman.
Mm.
I think he looks about the same.
Thanks.
Minus the smell of booze.
I assumed you all had a productive day yesterday, too.
I saw a tree.
With the dark claws.
No.
I saw one.
The Dark Who's?
Did you tell them about the fact the stillborn dad is back?
Damn it, that was what I was supposed to remember.
You forgot the one reason why we came to town.
The whole reason we came to Baewic was to tell them that.
You know, I had other reasons, but in fairness, yes, that was one of the main ones.
You guys
And
don't have to yell.
And in extra fairness, I was really trying to remember, and I know where he's staying, so it's not a big deal.
Well, where is he staying?
He's in the castle.
That's easy to find.
Did we have passage to get in? I can't remember or not.
To what now?
To get in. Did we receive something from
He did not, but I'm sure if we asked to at least send a message to him, you know, they could at least send that to him.
very well.
I actually have an arrangement I need to be present for today. Renard, I found you some copper wire.
I appreciate that.
It's only 15 gold instead of the 35 gold they charge here. Good lord.
Still extravagant, but I'll take it.
Consider it a present. I'm looking at him and he's just like awful looking. I'm like, yep. Buy that for you.
I spent all night looking through this, and he will smack the giant book. Calamities, specifically the second calamity, more effects. Some pages on the stillborn dead, but there's more in here than any one person could potentially hope to deal with or catalog in any reasonable amount of time.
Is there anything about the Warforged in there?
GM?
They were mentioned in the index, but you've not gotten to that page yet.
I mean, I didn't just I did look through the book. I did.
Yes, they are in there. They are mentioned in there.
They're in here. I didn't have time to really look over that. I was more interested in the things we're actually dealing with at the moment.
Fair enough.
Specifically, the stillborn dead and the mention of this ancient tree.
Yes, on the topic of the stillborn dead, we really should notify the Dark Claws today.
Do that right after we have our meeting with this enchantress of sorts.
Especially considering we need to make known the necromantic fungal. The sooner we get the information about that, the better. I was so distracted doing this yesterday, I forgot to bring it up to the Archmage. Damn it.
No, right. It's hard to remember everything.
Well, we're going to go see her right now if you'd like to accompany us.
I can't stand to write another moment, so yes, I think that'll finish my rental fee, but I guess I'm not going to get much more out of this regardless.
I look down, I'm like, but you've only written like 10 pages.
I just kind of look at him. When you learn how to write, come to me. And Ron, I was just going to leave.
Damn, you're an asshole.
Who, me?
Yes,
Yeah.
you.
We've established that. That's the Tempest thing.
As you approach the Rama, she will smile at all of you and kind of look towards the Warforged. Ah, yes, I was able to research you a little bit and figure out what we might be able to do for you.
Ah, excellent.
I can also talk again, so it is a pleasure to meet you formally.
Ah, it is a pleasure to meet you as well. I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
The good news is that it is possible not to enchant your eyes, but replace them.
What?
All right.
That seems to be.
Vision you require.
That is fine.
The bad news.
It's expensive.
How expensive are we talking?
4,000 gold an eye.
Would I need both eyes?
But this per eye, 4,000 gold per eye, but it is permanent, and it is not part of the magical attunement process.
What would happen if I only had one eye done?
You'd see half as well.
When we acquire the funds, we shall probably return to have that procedure done.
Yes.
How long do you believe it would take us for the process to actually happen?
The process itself is relatively simple. The unfortunate effect is we'd have to turn you off, disassemble your head, insert everything. It's a thing, and I am afraid I am not the specific architect of this design. I would have to make a few messages to a few friends of mine back in the conservatory.
Do you know of any specialists on Warforged? Someone that might... We're curious just about our own race as well, so any contact information you could have would be most useful.
The only one that I know who is specialized in you has been dead for 200 years. But the Archmage of Transmutation in the conservatory would be the one who I would speak to.
Archmage of the Conservatory?
Archmage of Transmutation in the conservatory.
And what is his name? If you happen to have it.
Making you dig through your notes, sorry, Beth.
I had to tell you to go look at my notes again.
That was hardcore tonight.
Yeah, really, guys. Here we go. Her name is Lady Alessandria Gale, the Baroness of the Valencia Falls. She's also the Minister of Culture.
Wow. She got titles.
Montreal Gale.
Was it Alessandria?
Alessandria Gale.
Perhaps we shall run into her one day, and we'll have a curiosity in us. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you. I spelled that way different.
Same.
Actually, not way different. I just misplaced the I with, or a Y with an I.
She's also the Lord High Patron of the Minister of Culture within the Empire.
Titles upon titles upon titles.
And then, Renard, did you want to mention the stillborn dead?
Renard left.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Once Tempest started talking shit, he walked away.
Oh, where do you go, Tempest?
I'm helping.
Well, it doesn't appear that he is here now, but we did just come from... God, what town are we just in?
Darrow Shore.
Darrow Shore. Have you heard anything from them recently, or any news from there recently?
I heard they had a wonderful festival.
It was. We participated. However, on a more grim note, there did appear to be some grain that was infected with necromantic magic,
Yes.
and it's caused a bit of a breakout of undead within the city.
Fascinating.
I feel like we don't just tell everyone that.
Well, the more people who know, the more people can help, and also Reynard wants to talk to her about it. Have you heard of anything that could possibly, enchant grain this way?
Oh, goodness. Nothing from my specialty, but I think... Well, you'd have to find a necromancer.
That is a fair point.
We did find a necromancer. He is dead now.
Just did.
And it's certainly hard to talk to a dead man.
You're a necromancer.
Surprised.
Unless you're a necromancer.
A paradox.
Full circle. Well, thank you for your time.
Of course. Good luck. Tempest, where are you going?
I was still technically there, I guess.
I thought you were going to... Oh, I'm sorry. Bernard, where'd you go?
He is going to go and deal with the Darklaw situation immediately since everybody else forgot about it.
Okay.
We were going there.
I guess I would immediately go like, he's going to the damn dark. He's going to the castle. Let's follow him.
Well, that's where we were heading afterwards, anyways. So
Yep.
That's what mine and Kevin's
You have
plan
about a
was to go.
10-minute head start on them, Bernard.
Yeah.
But if they rush, they can catch up to you.
Walk fast.
Okay.
Basic pass.
Roman
Make
is
your way-
definitely not walking fast.
Up the high-rising road. It's a pretty steep incline at some points, almost 45 degrees in some points. You just elevate up steps upon steps upon steps before you finally make your way into the alley road that leads up to Baewic Castle itself. The castle itself is relatively large and carved out of a very dark stone, giving the impression of a very foreboding building. And though it is decorated as much as it may be, the stone itself just makes it look like something out of some evil person might have lived here a long time ago if you're into the fantasy tales of a long time ago. However, all the way up front is a broad gate of the same stone over which dark bars bar the entryway, where two guards will stand out front. One of which is dressed in the silver, blue, and gold of the Empire, and another in a more motley design of leather, bits of mail, and nice, comfortable fitting pants upon which lies two different swords on their backs.
Hello there.
To which one are you speaking?
Just to both of them, I guess.
And they both look at you. The knighted man will go, "Greetings, citizen."
We are looking for the Dark Claws.
Well, this is certainly one of the places to find them. Do you have an appointment?
Do we have an appointment, Tempest?
We do not, but I was talking to Damon the other day, and he mentioned if we needed him to come to the castle. Would it be possible for someone to send just a message to him and tell him that, oh shit, he doesn't know our adventuring name. Tell him that, the pie-eating loser is here.
You can see them kind of look between each other for a brief moment. Make a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
I thought that was a clever way of doing it.
Tempest, I
It's
do not
not
think
that
that's
takes
how you want to
experience.
go around introducing yourself to people.
I don't normally, but you know, that's what Damon would remember. I'm trying to find my persuasion, I promise.
Yeah.
Lovely. Back to this.
Heckin' right.
Back to this.
Critical ones.
You know, it was nice. It was a nice, 2 hours. I enjoyed it.
As he will kind of stare at you for a long moment, raising a brow, he'll just, "Look, we get a lot of people trying to talk to the Dark Laws about various things. If you want to make an appointment, you can make your way to the Atronus Tower and have them send the message. We'll have it arranged for you. There'll be a person here waiting for you. It may take 4 to 6 business days."
Look,
Please.
How many of them know one of the Dark Law's names? We know Damon.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. Everybody knows Damon. He's a really loud fellow.
We don't have time for this. We are on an adventuring party. We come from Darrow Shore. We bring grave news. The city is burning. Undead are on the loose. We need to talk to Dark Laws immediately.
That.
Oh, goodness, how did I get behind all of you? I seriously don't understand.
Make a persuasion check, Connor.
With not disadvantage, because you're better at this than me.
Normal. Persuasion. 12.
Go send a message to Damon. And the other guard will look up. You serious? You want to be the one in charge if they happen to be not lying? No, fair point.
Listen,
No.
if this will make it easier on you, I was referred to an individual here, a Dark Claw. He's a friend of Numos from Darrow Shore. His name is Nikolai Goldmane. Sorry, Nikolai Goodmane.
And they'll cough at that. Let them in. If they know that name, then let them in. And the doors, one of the side gatehouses will open up for you all to enter.
Reynard, that memory is wonderful.
Yeah. Then he's going to go in.
Going through the gatehouse and out through the other side, you enter into a large courtyard where you can see any number of men-at-arms appear to be training, going through the motions of sword and combat, a few others doing fist-to-fist. You don't see any sign of Damon in the immediate, but as you look around through the front door of the castle itself, you're walking that way before you kind of look to your right where you see about 6 different people, mostly look to be men-at-arms, although none of them are carrying physical weapons, attempting to throw punches at a single man who is not moving. This very old gentleman is just casually standing there as people look like they're trying to throw punches at him, and at the last second they change direction or shift their mind like they're trying to avoid being attacked. The man does not move.
Our eyes.
He is a very, very old gentleman. His hair on his head is almost completely gone, though he does have a beard of magnificent white that kind of goes down to mid-chest level. Ancient-looking fellow.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that's the guy we're looking for.
Would Tempest not Tempest, 23 or I recognize him? I don't know why I said recognize like that.
Make a history check.
I'll take that. Oh god, I have a -2 in history.
Take it.
Hey, you will both, if you have indeed know who this person is. That is Nikolai Goodmane, the last known survivor of the Dawnspire. A human at least 230 years old.
Just know of him, or do we know him like we've had?
You know of him.
Okay. Like, we're not best friends. Okay.
That guy has to be at least 80 years old.
He is far older than that.
Renaud, you are correct. That is him.
I figured.
No, do you need a nap?
I'll be fine. I guess we should give him a few minutes to finish up what he's doing and see if we can't speak to him.
Does appear to be busy.
In about 5 minutes, there's any number of people who are trying to throw punches at him, but not a single one succeeds despite the fact that he is standing still before he just raises a finger up, and they all stop, and they put their hands by their sides and then bow their heads before they turn to look at you, and then he will turn around and look at you.
Oh god, we have an audience. Yes, we're here to meet with Nikolai Goodmane. We have word from Darrow Shore. Specifically, I was referred to you by a man named Numos.
Oh. And as you get the impression, as you look at his face, his eyes are milked over. He is blind. Oh. Well, you have found him, young man.
I don't suppose we could have a conversation? Preferably private.
I suppose we could if it was that important and you are menacing his name at me. Leave us for now, please. The students will then bow towards him once more, and they will make their way off. You are standing in an open courtyard, but within the immediate vicinities, you look around there. The closest person's 30, 40 feet away, and they're currently occupied trying to pirouette.
Well, I thought when I mentioned privacy, we might go inside, but this will suffice if you say it suffices. We've come from Darashore. I don't know if you've received aid, but, well, we've got news that we're not particularly happy to bring, but it's necessary. We believe we may have encountered a collection, army, infestation, whatever term would be appropriate, of the stillborn dead. And he'll actually look towards 23 and Kevin when he's saying that, as if double checking to make sure that his memory right now, as he's feeling very tired, is accurate.
No,
Yes, that is accurate.
They are definitely undead of the stillborn dead. I fought them prior.
Indeed. And you are Warforged.
Correct, sir.
That cannot be a coincidence. The Warforged of Celia Larenth have returned. This is the moment their undead are attacking a town. Interesting.
We thought as much.
They weren't just attacking the town. There was a whole army of them being gathered up in the mountains.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that is terrible news. What do you intend to do about it?
From Darklaw, isn't it your job to deal with things like this?
Of course. You want us to help deal with it.
We want to make sure that whoever knows about it and can make sure nothing ill happens because of it knows. The best thing we can do here is spread the information so that the well-informed stay well-informed.
I will certainly send a message to my brothers of the Ghost Slayers. They will be keen to know that information.
We also have reason to believe that this attack on Darrow was caused by fungus of some kind.
And that'll make him kind of raise a brow.
Magical in nature. It caused people to become susceptible.
Was it sweet smelling?
Was it sweet smelling?
Yes, it was.
The normal affable expression on him dowers for a brief moment. I see.
So I assume it's pretty obvious he knows what this is, so I'm just gonna be like, I believe you know what this fungus is, sir. Mind sharing?
It's not the first time I've heard of it, that's for sure.
We believe it's been. We believe grain shipments from. I can't remember the middle city that's responsible for this. Is the one thing that's not in my notes.
Heavy Nook.
Heavy
Nook.
We
Okay.
have fear that perhaps something there is responsible for tainting grain that's being shipped throughout the Empire, and that an attack on the scale of Darrow Shores, it's not unreasonable to believe that there may be others in the works.
Indeed. That is not good. Well, I have good and bad news on that front. As he kind of like pausing to figure out the correct words to explain to all of you. I'm not sure what you know about the Dark Laws, but our capabilities to fight armies is very limited. This sounds like something you should inform the Empire about.
Well, at the very least, we figured you having information about it means that I don't know if you have preparation, you want to send agents out to help combat any other afflictions that may come out, but it just seemed important that you be made aware of this information.
Oh, I have just the agents to go figure out this problem. Kind of look up. He has a very high-pitched whistle before a few minutes will pass, or a few moments will pass by before you hear the thunk, 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 thunk. A very heavy-footed steps that walk up, kind of trotting up beside you, Renard. It's Damon, again.
Oh, look. Hi, Damon.
Well, howdy, nice to see you all again. Master Goodmane. And Damon will bow his head. These fine adventurers seem to have intoned that Darrowshore was attacked by undead. You just came from there. You know anything of this? And he'll look around at all of you, completely surprised before he shakes his head. No, not that I was aware of. Ain't nothing like that when I was there.
It was a few days after you left.
That was the thing I couldn't remember, Damon. Sorry about that.
Well, I'm glad you remember it now. Well, undead, as Nikolai explains, he'll raise a brow and says, Damon, I want you to send a contingent to Heavy Nook. Go there personally, see what's going on. There are signs of the undead. We need to alert the ghost slayers. They'll be more praised to handle that kind of situation.
Should we check the grain stores here in Baewic?
Baewic doesn't get its shipments from Heavy Nook. We get ours from the Vale.
All the same, better safe than sorry, correct?
Yes.
You certainly can, though you would have to talk to the Lady Patrician to do that. And between you and I, he kind of pauses for a moment where Damon goes, she's a bitch.
Lovely.
Sometimes we have to deal with unpleasant people to do pleasant things. That's fine. I had a few more questions about you, though these are not of immediate threat, I suppose. I just wanted to understand, you are the only surviving member of the dance bio we know, so if we were to ask anyone first-hand experience, you would likely be the best one. We just wanted to know what you could tell us about the Spilled Undead. And actually, I had a name here. He will pull out the spell book that they got from the necromancer and just show it to him. I believe this is the spell book of someone known as Eurykio Zaro.
That's a
This was in the necromancer's possession when we killed him.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time. He was a necromancer from a very long time ago, an elf, I think. The elves of the Tiri Kator would have more information on that man, but they're all the way up somewhere in the Adanian Vale.
Write that, please. That's going in the notes.
Can I it?
Could you spell that?
Yeah, that's what I was asking for. I want to know the spelling for this.
Danian Vale. Elves of the Tiricator. Oh, I spelled Danian right. For me. Nope, I didn't. That's me.
I see. I'll be sure to do that if we ever head up that way. The other information we had is we came across something, a riddle that seemed to be related to some kind of ancient tree, a town called Waston. Something like that. I don't suppose you know about that.
He'll shake his head. Never heard of it. Master Goodman, I might know a thing or two. That's an old children's fable about a town that sometimes appears and disappears off the map. I've heard about it from time to time, and even sometimes people say they've seen it, but I think it's more of a fable than anything else.
Well, specifically in this fable, there's mention of a withered, cruel tree with rumors that will swallow the land and choke the earth itself.
Sounds like the kind of thing you'd find in a children's fable. Not.
Yes. Was there any mention of this, by the way, when I was skimming through the index of the second calamity?
There was not.
Okay. Just trying to gather information. This sounded... Why there'd be something referenced to this with in a camp of bandits that were being led by this necromancer, it didn't seem like just a coincidence.
Do you know anything about the wellspring?
Damon will look to Nikolai, who just... The wellspring. I am not a wizard. But as I understand it, it is... What did she call it? A conduit for magic, I think is what she always called it. It was... allowed her to do things, incredible things with magic. Some sort of material component, I guess. I am not a wizard. It was never my line of study.
As far as we can tell, the last location of this was in the... I have in my notes Aldanian Vale. I think I may have just miswritten Edanian
It's
Vale.
the Adanian Vale.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. Double checking that. Well, I guess that's another thing we can look for when we head up north and See what we can find there.
Yes. We should invest in a wagon.
Might be a good idea.
Well, if you all are going to go to the Edanian Vale, then you definitely want to talk to the Lady Patrician.
Why is that?
She has an issue, I guess. The shipments coming out of the Vale have stopped. I haven't received any for the last couple of weeks. She has a pretty substantial reward for them.
So the shipments from the Vale have stopped, and Heavy Nook is suspected that it's infected. That isn't just a coincidence. Somebody's hoping that your grain is going to be pulled from somewhere where they can control it.
That does seem like a likely conclusion.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. It has been an honor to meet you, and you've provided a great deal of information.
I did have one more question. You asked what we were going to do about possibly dealing with stillborn dead and undead activities. A thought that me and Kevin did have, this is Kevin by the way, I am 23, is
Hello.
possibly finding other repositories of Warforged. Would you happen to know of any?
He will purse his lips. No. But if I would find information, I wanted to find more of you, then I would look first at the archives in the Dawnspire.
And would you know where to find one named Scather?
He'll raise a brow at that. That is a name I have not heard in a long time. How do you know that name?
He was the one who woke us up.
Scather is a member of the Silent Dark. If you are affiliated with them, then you have a lot on your plate.
I wouldn't necessarily say we are affiliated.
Just looking to murder him.
More trying to unaffiliate as extremely as possible.
It's a good way of putting it. Permanently.
Well,
We were not given an option to be woken up. He damaged my memory quite.
if you're going after the Silent Dark, then you need to understand that they are not easily killed. And there were only a handful of them that remained behind after the decision. He's been killed before, he always comes back.
Do you know why
Curious.
that might be?
I think it's because he's not native to this plane, but we're not sure yet.
Any leads up to what plane he might be from?
Hell.
Ah, it's fair. He's a bit of a bastard.
Roman's just in the back. He's got the wolf cloak flipped up, and he's just like actively rubbing his temple, just trying to take in all this information.
I think, Misfortune, that you have gotten yourselves in quite an adventure ahead of you.
Reynard raises an eyebrow at the fact that he knows our group name.
Indeed.
He gestures to the Warforged. Interesting. Welcome back. Fate is not without a sense of irony. As you all are
And it
still
smiles at all of
currently
you, is where we're going to take a
in
break.
the
Woo,
Cool.
perfect.
Alrighty.
Baewic Castle
See you all
courtyard,
back in about
having
10,
a
15
wonderful
minutes.
conversation with
Uh,
Nikolai, as he remarks with a little bit of a sly smile, says, well, it seems even fate is not without a sense of irony.
What's the irony?
Nikolai, one last inquiry for you. Would you happen to know of any artifacts from the war that we could use to combat these dead?
He smiles a little bit. I do. But if you want to have any of them, or have access to them, I have a little bit of a task that requires some help.
I am interested.
Yes, that sounds agreeable.
Follow me. Hey, boss, do you mean to show them that? Yes, Damon, I'm going to take them to the elf.
To the elf.
Man, you all are in for this. He kind of gets a slight grin on his face as Nikolai will walk past all of you and lead you up.
When nobody is looking at Reynard, he's just going to kind of look around and he's going to secretly cast mage armor on himself.
Smart.
Okay.
When Damon walks past, I'm going to try and nudge him and be like, is that guy really that hard to hit?
I haven't remember laying a hand on him yet. Go ahead and try. See what happens.
I'm all set. I already feel like I got hit in the head multiple times today.
Roman, would you like me to cast Mending on you?
Don't think that would help. I'm just going to keep the cloak on and then just like push the wolf head lower.
Reynard will not try anything.
Aside from casting mage armor on himself.
No, his idea would be cheating.
Okay.
Can't hit him. I mean, flicks a finger, magic missile. I did not just flip the stream off. I apologize for that.
Okay. He guides you through a series of long and winding corridors through a main foyer that splits off into two different directions. The one he leads you on to the left, but to the castle itself kind of has this weird duality to it. Or part of it on the right-hand side looks like it's got paintings and busts and the occasional potted plant, and the courtiers and the nobles that cross spot back and forth are a little more well-dressed, while the left half of the castle seems to be more rustic in its style. The people are not quite as well garbed, but they are definitely armed, and these look to be the more of the Dark Laws as opposed to the actual empire itself. A very clear distinction between the two political groups, even though they reside in the same castle. Nikolai will guide you up through another series of corridors to the left, where he he opens up a side chamber where you see two elves kind of sitting beside each other, looking over what looks to be a female elf who is lying on a table asleep. They all look pretty ragged. What the female on the table looks like she's missing an arm. It looks like it's been bitten off or at least removed. While the two male elves look exhausted, to say the least. And they both slowly stand up before Nikolai will raise a brow. I will leave you all to it. And then he will walk out and let all of you into the room.
Hello.
What's your leaving us to?
They look at all of you for a long moment before the lead elf will stand up. Kind of a very broad-looking shouldered elf with really bright copper hair and a bandage over his face that kind of covers over one eye before he'll look at all of you. Hello. Are you here to help us?
I suppose that's what the good master mentioned.
Thank you. My name is Alar Leodon, excuse me. Alar Leodon. This is my friend, Fivin. We need help.
Help with what?
We are part of a contingent of elves called the Warriors of Mithradel. We live in the... I'm sorry. He kind of sits down. Looking at him, he looks exhausted, as if he has been sitting here for a while, tending to the lady who is currently asleep. We are warriors of Mithradel, based out of the Aloenera forest.
Sorry, I was just thinking he can't look any more tired than Reynard does right now.
He's actually level 2 of exhaustion. Eat it.
Got him.
We were fighting a band of orcs inside the Aloanera forest. The battle was glorious. We killed many of them. But on the way back that evening, we were ambushed by a black dragon. It killed many of us and now resides in our keep, Ravenglade.
Black dragon, did you say?
So is the help you need to deal with this dragon?
And to reclaim our keep, yes.
One would lead to the other.
You said you were in a battle. Who were you in a battle with?
Orcs.
Orcs.
They came down onto the Wyshans. They occasionally make their way to Orwick or to Erathir. My group intercepts them from time to time when we catch them.
Where is your keep?
And it is in the Aloanera forest.
That's not too far of a walk from here.
Which forest did you say? The Aloanera?
The Aloanera forest, yes.
But just to make sure I heard you correctly, you said it's being held by a dragon?
Yes, a black one.
How old is it?
We do not know, but it is large.
So not a baby.
Can you give me an approximation of its wingspan? 2 trees across, 3 trees across? How tall it stood? Anything would be useful information.
The body of it was the size of 2 or 3 caravans, or 2 or 3 wagons.
Could Reynard make a nature check to try and estimate how old it would be then?
You may.
I would actually...
Of course, when it comes to the dragon roll! Son of a bitch!
You failed miserably.
Bernard, your affiliation with dragons, I will let you make another one.
18.
You estimate it's probably an adult.
That's pretty big.
We managed to deal significant damage to it, but it is a formidable foe. And at this point, the girl will slowly sit up. If they are going to the keep, I am going. My children are still there. And they will grab her. No, Leah, we will handle it. And she'll just look at all of you. She looks worse than anybody you have seen in a long time. Bloodshot eyes, bags under her. Our armor is torn in chunks in places. It looks like she tried very, very, very hard to do something and failed pretty hard in the process.
I think if you're going anywhere, it should be back to sleep. No offense, but there's no point killing yourself trying to accomplish something.
She just stared at all of you. Everything you have in that keep, everything we have in that keep is yours. If you could just find my children. They're still there.
Did this dragon have any allies, or was it attacking the orcs as well as you?
The orcs were routed before the dragon attacked. It attacked us as we were resting.
Well,
We were able to deal damage to the beast, so you may stand a chance to strike if you strike before it is healed.
about how many days north of here would it be a march to get to your keep?
If you get to the southernmost border of the Aloanera, travel north for another 5 to 6 days.
So at the very least, a 10-day and a half to get anywhere near it.
I do not know anything about dragons, but this does seem like a quest that would benefit many.
Especially if we can get something that would help us fight the fight the undead with it as well.
Yes.
My
anything
lady,
to help
why
in
don't
that.
you tell them what you think the dragon came for? And this time Nikolai is in the doorway. They went for Whisper. We think it was trying to find Whisper. It is an heirloom passed down from Basilia Ilnasia to my people.
What exactly does it do?
It is a bow of incredible power.
Even more reason to try and deal with this dragon. Then we have many that use bows.
Reinhardt actually looks at the trigger, being like, "Wait a second, none of you are using bows."
It's like, I can, but I never have. I don't know what you're talking about, really.
Crossbows are bows.
No, they're not.
They are mechanical inventions.
Question, DM:
Similar to bows.
would this weapon have been used during the second calamity?
No.
Okay.
So not really any history or anything on it.
It is one of Basilia's weapons, but it departed before the second calamity occurred.
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, we should worry about preventing this dragon from harming any more of your people. And if your children are in such dire straits, then helping them comes of first priority.
I
They have
agree.
the hearts of warriors. I know they survive.
Then
I
let's hope
assume that there are two of them. A boy named Fane and the girl named Silen.
Fane and Silen.
Fane, F-A-E-N, and Silen, S-Y-L-L-I-N. And she'll actually pull a necklace off of her, or a pendant off of her neck. It looks like a flower encased in a circle hanging on a silver cord. My children are wearing the same pendant. Show this to them, and they will trust you.
23 will grab the pendant and put it in open his chamber or his belly chamber and put it in there. I shall keep it safe, I promise.
If you're going to go into the Aluanera, there's a few things you need to know. Have any of you been there before?
Maybe?
It could have been.
There is a fey spirit that lives within the woods. It manifests as a pale blue spectral fox with 3 tails. It might help you in your quest. It has helped us from time to time.
All right. Is there any way that we should know of to get in contact with this? Any way specific we should look for it? Any places we should make offerings?
She'll shake her head. It appears from time to time with no discernible pattern that we have been able to find. It is possible it is linked to the... There's a very strange druid that lives in the forest near the swamp. Or in the forest near a swamp. Her name is Marla. She seems harmless enough. She's never bothered us.
I'm sorry, say that name again, and if you could type it.
Marla.
Marla. Okay, never mind. I don't need you to type that one.
It's like, that's a basic name.
There are very likely still bands of orcs roving, though they have been decimated.
Well, if we can't handle a few orcs, I don't see how we're going to handle the dragon.
That is fair.
I agree.
Is the only way to ascend or descend the keep. The sky ascend. It has been destroyed. You will have to find a way to get into it somehow.
Is there any secret entrances or anything, any escape routes that you might have that could help us?
She'll shake her head at that. Not that I know of.
So say this... Sorry, go ahead.
There was also a strange glowing orb that seemed to float around the dragon's head as they fought. Every now and then it's as if the worm would pause to listen to the thing.
Wait, what? It's not like one of those Ioun stones we saw. That's something different.
So you mentioned that the only way into and out of the keep was this thing called the Sky Ascent. Where does this keep built? On the side of a mountain in the trees? What?
Don't nod. It is built into a mountain.
Okay.
Bernard, is it possible that the Archmage would be able to expedite our travel to there?
Possibly, we could ask.
Probably for 1,000 gold.
Considering the... I doubt it would be without some form of cost.
Maybe we could offer her a favor to be collected later.
It's a fair form of currency around here.
People seem to enjoy favors.
Reynard just puts on a skeptical face.
I agree.
That's your
with
normal
that.
face.
Do any of you use swords?
I do. I use a great sword, but
A regular sword or just a big sword?
Well, we'll just push at his rapiers and just go on kind of.
We will actually hold out a very beautiful looking longsword that seems to just faintly glow. The material itself, the blade almost looks like it was made out of a silvery metal.
Oh, that's pretty.
I will lend you my sword, Moon Petal, if it will help you slay this dragon.
I'll just look at 23, be like, kind of raise my eyebrows, like,
It's lighter than the average longsword, i.e., it's a +1 longsword with finesse.
Oh.
So anyone can use it.
Well, I'm not going to be swinging around the long swords anyway.
I can't use it.
Why not?
I don't have a longsword proficiency.
Oh, so the two of us can use it.
Yeah, I think it's just me and.
You have longsword?
Rogues believe they do. It's really weird, but I think they do.
I was like, rogues get longswords?
we shall use this to the best of our abilities. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
Figure it out later.
Well, we'll do everything in our power to make sure this threat does not endanger any more lives and return your children to you.
The other elf that's in there has remained oddly quiet the entire time. He's like he's watching both of you. He's hurt as well, pretty badly. But he just doesn't say anything.
Do you have any additional information that might help us at all? Talking to the other guy there who's not talking at all.
He just shakes his head. It is a dangerous journey inside the forest. The dragon probably thinks we are dead as we jump from the waterfall to escape it. It does still, however, I suspect it will fly about its terrain. If it has claimed our keep, then it will be on patrol. So be careful when you are in the woods.
Now, forgive me, I'm not an expert on dragons. Black dragons, is that acid? Is that poison? What did you notice when you were dealing with it?
Reynard will just tell you it's acid.
Thank you. Just wanted to check.
One last thing. Do you know if this dragon has a name?
Does. It called itself Duskbringer.
Oh. So he's a
Not
13-year-old boy.
At all.
Sounds a little emo, but okay.
Renaud, have you heard of such a dragon?
Have I?
Make a history check.
Oh.
Okay. There are a lot of dragons still in the world of all types. You have heard the name before, but have never really been able to associate it with any context.
Nothing explicitly. If it is Duskbringer, then this will be the first notable act that history will have written about him.
That has to be a good thing, though, correct? I mean, if the dragon hasn't done anything notable, then it is clearly not too great of a dragon.
How old was the book that you... we already did the adult thing. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
So the good news means that he hasn't been around long enough or old enough to make any real note of himself. So that's something we should take into consideration.
And you said
Hopefully.
you said it's been weakened, but it's still a damn dragon. How weakened was it?
Can't give you a specific. It was weakened.
But if it's been weakened, then that means the longer we take to march and deal with it, the better shape it's going to be in when we get there.
I agree.
Yes. There are some towns that are nearby to that forest. It is possible the dragon will attempt to assault those towns if left to its own devices.
Oh, which Anathia?
She'll reach out to grab Renard's hand. Please. My children are all that I have. I beg of you to help. Take our riches if you must, but please find it in your heart to rescue my 2 children.
We're not doing this for riches. We're doing this because it needs to be done.
Thank you.
Roman's off there daydreaming about all the fucking gold he's gonna make.
Not at all. More daydreaming with the fact that I'm gonna be dead in 10 days.
Tempest is like, money but dragon, money but dragon, money but dragon.
All right, well, time
Kevin is like
essence.
dragon, but dragon.
If we ought to do this, I say we take the day, gather supplies as we can, and then head out in the morrow.
It's another day. We've already spent one shopping in town. How much more could we possibly need?
Well, I have an errand to run. I need to pick up your copper wire if you're interested in coming. And there was a task that I may be picking up as well. For some other goodies.
Many tasks.
Okay.
I shall try to
finish everything we need to do before noon, but we should not tarry another day. We should make out as soon as we can.
I don't disagree.
I shall try to find us transportation and also get some climbing equipment or something that might help us climb a cliff. How tall is the cliff, by the way, that we might have to climb?
They'll look between each other. You may probably need about 4 to 5 lengths worth of rope if you wish to climb it from the base.
Is that like 500 feet or like 200?
It's
How long is
4 or
it?
5 lengths of rope, so anywhere between
250?
300 feet.
Okay.
That's a good call, Connor. That will make things significantly easier.
Yes.
I have a feeling you will do well with cliffs. Something tells me that you have had experience with them before.
This is like, I'll be fine, but I'm not particularly good at going down things, apparently.
Lots of climbing and falling.
Going down is the easy part. It's the landing that's difficult.
That part I seem to fail epically at.
Oh.
You
And then
should have more
Renard
faith in
turns.
yourself, Tempest.
Huh?
You should have more faith in yourself.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be fine if we're I've got a trick.
Right, well, we should be going.
Yes. Come on, gentlemen. We're going to a dead rat inn.
Go to a place like that.
It's lovely, I
I'm
promise.
directors.
And I guess if we're done here, I'll lead them to the dead rat inn.
Yeah, dead rats.
23 is going to go out and immediately try to find climbing gear and try to find some horses or something.
I will say the climbing gear you can easily buy. The horses are going to be a little bit more expensive than what I think you guys have.
Okay.
We're walking.
We shall see what we have.
I mean, they wanted $400 for glue.
I'll email you a shopping.
Or go.
Or I'll message you a shopping.
And I will tell you that the elves would have told you that traveling on foot through the forest is hard enough. On horseback is much harder.
Horses are not made to wander through forests.
No, we'll want to take it on foot.
Besides, we left our cart in Darrowshore.
Awkward.
Good.
Oh well.
Forgot about
I'm
that.
sure somebody will be making use of it, hopefully not shipping around tainted grain.
Apparently.
I feel like Azan went through a lot of effort to get that thing fixed just for it to get left behind.
He wasn't here for it. That's fine.
Hey,
It was a metaphysical effort.
All right.
I think I'm gonna tag along with 23. I've seen my fair share of those kinds of people.
Dead rat inns.
Yeah, basically. If you don't mind, can I check that sword out while we're walking? I think
Yes, go for it.
It is a silvery sheened longsword. It looks like the ore isn't really actually smelted in. It almost like it's made out of rock. But as you thumb over the blade's edge, it is still very sharp. There is the symbol of Mithradel inlaid in its center, a beautiful pale maiden overlaid by a moon, with a curved hilt on the inside.
Do you have any idea who that is?
Mithradel?
Yeah.
Make a religion check.
I'm good at these. Religon.
Are you good at those?
Not a clue.
She's pretty.
Some elven deity or another, somewhere or another.
When you're shopping 23, on top of getting the climbing gear, get lots of extra pittance just in case, and getting a grappling hook or two wouldn't be a bad idea either in case we need to scale the walls.
I'm already on it.
All right, just making sure.
I appreciate it.
We'll get everything, don't worry.
I will go with them to make sure they get everything.
All right, it's just me and Renaud then, I guess.
You guys are a great
How does he
team.
stick with you?
Elemental steel.
You guys need to do a little bonding after the little tiff this morning, I think.
I think Renaud just needs a nap. That's really all it is.
Right.
I take Renard and head to the dead dragon.
Okay. Making your way down the street, the first thing you hear is a wah! For a thunk as a fellow is tossed out of the saloon-like doors and lands with a crunch on his back as he just gets laid out, looking up very much in a Loki post-Thor response. He's just and stepping out of the saloon front door is Damon just kind of rolling one shoulder. That's what I thought you said. And goes back in.
Why
As
is
the
he?
poor fellow just slowly stands up. And just limps past all of you, walking off, very much hurt, and not just physically, but pride.
Why is he always where I am? Is he following me?
It's
I
fate.
don't think he would say it that way.
I don't think so either. I'm just asking the question. Anyway, let's head in.
You make your way into the Dead Rat Inn, and it is what one might expect of a burly saloon, where you can see people are hanging on things, throwing things. There's a couple of fights breaking out, but there is Damon sitting at the bar. Looks like he's drinking something out of a flask. And at the front of the bar is an absolutely beautiful looking elf. Kind of shocked white skin and even more shocked white hair of almost platinum color. But as she turns to look at all of you, she'll offer a kind smile and incline her head as Damon will look towards all of you and go, "Well, Bob be damned if y'all ain't following me."
Oh, he was coming yet, damn it. Yes, Damon. What can I say? You're just a charming fellow.
You know, I get around. Miss Salin, these are the adventurers I was mentioning earlier. And the elf will incline her head. "Hello. I am Salin Knight."
A pleasure.
A
I'll bow
pleasure
mine.
indeed. "I believe a package was left for you, my blue friend."
Oh, wonderful. I will take it, I guess, if she's...
You will actually pull up a relatively lengthy spool of copper wire.
There you go. Don't say I never did anything for you.
I will not say that.
Thank you, I think.
It was also mentioned you might need another favor.
He did mention there might be something he needed from me.
Indeed.
Potentially.
Damon, could you excuse us for a moment? And he'll incline ahead for, "Of course, Ms. Knight, I'd be happy to." And she'll smile and he'll walk off. And no doubt you all have surmised at least a little bit about what you're about to get into. So perhaps it will not surprise you when I say we have a good idea of where you're going next.
Well, Damon was here, so I assume he's not quiet.
He's not a quiet fellow.
No, not at all. So yes, we can skip all the pleasantries. You know where we're heading.
The keep has a tome I'd like to get my hands on.
Any specifics about this tome?
That was Tempest being like,
One of the elves was... He kind of pauses for a moment. She pauses for a moment thinking... One of the elves is experimenting in secret, trying to manipulate a lycanthropic curse to reach its pinnacle, retaining the strength of the wolf without ever manifesting its form. I would be most interested in receiving that package, that tome, and would pay you a great deal of money for it.
how much is a great deal of money? Just curious, gotta plan out my funds.
How's 3,000 sound to you?
That's a lot of money, and this is some pretty significant work. I don't suppose it would be within reason to ask you what you may intend for something like this.
Just to see if he's done anything with it at all. That kind of power is...
dangerous.
Yes.
Is this purely...
No, please go ahead.
Is this purely academic, or are you looking into some practical application of this?
Oh, I certainly have no interest in applying that kind of magic. It's more to see if it's viable or not, to see how far along the elves have progressed with it.
Reynard is looking very hard and intently at this woman, and he does not seem to be able to make anything.
Make an insight check.
I was about to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
Can I do the same? Let me do mine real fast. 14?
Well, with a 5, unfortunately, she looks like she's genuinely curious.
I don't trust her, but I can't prove that I don't trust her.
With a 14, she definitely knows more than she's letting on, but what specifically you don't know.
Well, if we come across it, I'm sure there's some sort of work we can do about it. Considering what we're going to be dealing with there, we may have our hands full with other matters.
Indeed. I don't think we can promise anything. It is a dragon after all, but we will definitely look for it, and if we are able to find it...
I tell you what. And she will unfurl her cloak a little bit and reveal what looks to be a symbol of an eye encased in a book that is closed.
Do I recognize this symbol?
Renard does. Actually, yes, you do too. It is the Order of the Sightless.
And for those of us who don't remember what that is, why don't you give us a quick reminder?
I was like, for all the people at home.
A relatively secretive organization that, on the surface, at least as much as people know about them, attempts to maintain balance in the world, believing that no one organization or creature should obtain too much power.
When he sees that, he's just going to... we're not drawing a lot of attention, right? Nobody's paying attention to our conversation as far as Reynard can tell?
Make a perception check.
Yep. Well, I won't join you on that because I didn't think about it.
As you take a quick look about, there are a few people who casually look in your general direction from time to time. If they're observing you, or more like keeping an eye on what the overall...
atmosphere.
Well, it's more like they're watching you and Salen interact, but not in the sense of listening, but more making sure you don't do anything. And you get the impression these are probably her bodyguards.
Reynard will just kind of nod and says, I have a question. Does the name Ruby ring a bell?
She smiles.
I see.
Do I need to incite that chuckle, or do we just assume that, yes, she does?
She knows who she is.
Yep. I didn't think I needed to incite it. I'd ask.
I was just curious. Seems she's fallen on a bit of hard times over in Darrowshore.
That is unfortunate. Well, she should have no issue getting away.
I'm sure with friends like hers, I'm sure that you can do a great many things.
Kind of watching this interaction, I'm just like, interesting.
I think that's all you have for us, unless I'm mistaken. We will keep an eye out for this book. If we find it, we'll see what we can do with it, see what information we can glean from it. Considering this, it doesn't seem like you have much use for the book. You just have information inside the book. I'm a very good note taker.
It's powerful magic is something that needs to be monitored.
By the people who are authorized to not abuse it. Absolutely.
And never mind, I'm not going to say that. Didn't say anything.
Magic is a dangerous thing in the wrong hands and an even deadlier thing in the right ones.
Indeed. Take my deal into consideration. It is worth your time. It may not be that we're outly apparent, but we do have the best interests of the world at heart. Not the Empire, the world.
Sure.
Indeed.
I don't say that out loud.
Darrowshire under attack and stillborn dead, marshalling all over the world.
A busy place, and there's only so many of us.
Well, we are being very busy, and this is very exhausting. I think I'm going to bid my leave.
He needs a nap, I'm sorry. Well,
of course.
We'll take your offer into consideration. And if we find the book...
I need a nap one more time. You are not going to wake up tomorrow morning.
Nope, I won't say it. You might be able to do it.
He's gonna go buy some glue.
I'll leave the means to that to your imagination, as Reynard's going to turn and start to leave.
Oh, he does that all the time. Anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you, ma'am. I will go accompany my friend now.
Good luck.
I'll head out and follow. Well, I'll match Renard's pace, and I guess I'll just start talking in Orin. Be like, "You think she's legit, or?"
Well, in Ignan, I believe that she has a lot of information. She's rubbing elbows with some very powerful people. And the fact that she knows Ruby insists that she is the individuals who may or may not help her have stolen her vial from the Conservatory of the Arcane, which leads me to believe that this organization is extremely capable and dangerous. If they are who they say they are, then they're working for a good cause. If they are not who they say they are, then they are incredibly dangerous and maybe a threat as great, or maybe I'm exaggerating, but dangerous regardless.
Well, I'm also concerned. If they're so capable, why do they need us to go get a book?
Who's to say they're not capable of doing it? They're just having us do it because we're already on our way. No point in wasting resources if somebody else is already going to do it.
Point taken. Well, I suppose we should, do we want to pass this information along to the rest of the group, or do we just want to look for it while we're there?
I don't think there's any harm in telling them about us being approached by this individual or the job that they're handling us. They're sensible. We can manage that as we do. We have more important priorities. 23 is upstanding, and Kevin is right-minded. He's not going to just want to pass magic out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Roman might let greed get the better of him, but he may also be sensible in that it may get him killed, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, 23, it's fine. 23's a wonderful fellow. It's just more that he's loud.
That was my concern, the fact that Damon's been spreading word about what we're doing already. The reason I think it to be a private conversation with Nikolai and not just have every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I missed the opportunity to say Tom, Damon, and Harry. I apologize for that. Every Tom, Damon, and Harry, too.
I'm okay with you not doing that. It's fine. I guess. Yeah, I suppose that at this point, we can just basically assume the town knows where we're going.
23's just running amok. Hey, guess where we're going?
We're off to kill a dragon.
Meanwhile, I'm just with Renard. It's like, I'm sure they're being sensible about this. There's no point in telling everyone.
Oh, Roman definitely once there's a enough gap between them and any other people, he would be like, "Are we seriously gonna go try and kill a goddamn dragon?"
Yes. How hard could it be?
They said it was bigger than 3 wagons.
Is that big for a dragon?
It's big for anything. Have you ever fought something 3 wagons big?
I don't know. Maybe.
I have.
Well, I guess we should make our way back. They're probably just sitting at a bar doing nothing, making no problems at all.
Well, hopefully they're getting all the climbers kits. 23
Oh,
was
yes.
right when he said we're going to need it. If we're going to climb on Shell Rock Face, it's going to be awful.
Ah, that's what levitate is for. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, aren't you fortunate?
I am.
I need to buy a tent as well. I'm tired of sitting outside in the rain.
Wait, what? Oh, yes.
Tent.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Protection from the elements is very important.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should go see if we can find like a camping store or something.
I'm sure we'll find whatever we need. It's finding it at a reasonable price in this damn city.
Right.
5-finger discount.
Well, 3,000 gold would go a long way to fixing that problem.
At this point, Raynar is just going to see if we can't catch up with them.
Okay. I believe it is Roman and or not Roman. Everybody else is shopping for stuff.
Yes.
Standard prices for that thing.
Yeah, I'm calculating it out right now.
Okay.
Should we stop by the mage tower and see if the archmage can just send us there quicker?
Might help.
We could.
We are 3 talkable people.
Oh, God.
Well, first, I want to make sure I get a couple of key supplies, namely a tent.
Roman, we can't afford your glue.
Just listen. I'm already upset because I heard that Tempest blew 200 gold on a book he can't read, but he wouldn't give me 100 gold for glue. I felt that was it felt very personal, but I'm over that. I just want to see if I can get some ball bearings, a tent, maybe a couple other things.
It's fair. It's fair.
In hindsight, should have told them about the gun proficiency.
That'll all be standard prices, guys. So right out of the clerk's handbook.
Actually, Reynard is going to have an idea, and he's like, actually, I need to go to the tower. There's something I might want to buy. I think it might come in useful if we're going to try and climb the side of a mountain.
That's perfectly fine.
So would you run into each other at the tower then?
Probably.
Nice.
Sure.
Oh, what
I'm just buying a
wonderful
tent.
timing.
I don't think it's going to take very long.
What wonderful timing. It's nice to see you all.
Yes. We came here to ask about the faster way to get there.
You haven't just been asking people that randomly, have you?
Of course we have.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
23 has. I keep telling him that only one person probably can do it, but
23, this is not everyone needs to know where we're going.
everyone already knows where we're going.
What?
23 was very excited that we were going to kill a dragon.
Okay, well.
We're kidding. But it is fun to see emotions in your face.
Tempest just is like letting out this like high pitched gale like squeak.
Ha! Emotions.
Beth, it was 26 gold, 5 silver for everything.
Okay.
And just so everyone knows, this is what I got. I got 450 feet of rope, 50 pythons, 5 hammers, 2 grappling hooks, and 2 crowbars.
Cool.
And a backpack.
A lot of shoot.
What do we need a crowbar for?
In case the python gets stuck in the wall and we can get it back.
True.
I like it.
All right. Once we get back to the tower, Reynard is actually going to ask the Archmage Miss, whom I thought I wrote their name down in my notes, but apparently I did not.
I think I did. Hold on.
Which one?
Zarama Atronus.
Zarama Atronus.
He's the Archmage of Conjuration.
Yeah, the one we've been dealing with at the Atronus Tower. So, actually, I do have one more thing I need to deal with you before we need to go. I suppose you have spell scrolls available. Would you happen to have a spell scroll of Spider Climb?
I do.
How much would that cost me?
Let me see. She goes through her book. 60 gold.
60 gold it is.
And she will snap her hand, and one will float over, neatly encased in a little tube, which she will just hand to Renard.
He will hand over the 60 gold and kind of take a moment to stuff it away in his bag. Thank you. This will come in handy.
Of course.
I suppose there's no harm telling you if 23 actually has been spreading information, but people know anyway, so there's no
You're
point
going to the Aluanera Forest, yes.
Yes, we're going to the Aluanera Forest.
People?
Clearly the town is well informed, Tempest. There's no point in fretting about it at this point.
You all must be new to Baewic, so I'll tell you right now. Business and news spread quickly, especially bad news.
Especially when Damon is involved.
Well, that gentleman does have a large mouth, but there are eyes and ears all over this place. You are an Empire native. You know how it goes.
Unfortunately.
Damn it.
You can imagine, we are looking for the quickest ways possible to get to North. If we're going to deal with the dragon, we want to do so as soon as possible. If there's anything you can do to help expedite that process, we will be appreciative. Assuming we could afford it.
Well, I could offer you a scroll of teleportation, but I don't think you want that fee for that.
It would both be expensive, and if I were to make a misadjustment and fail it, that would be one of the single greatest blunders of my life. I'm not quite up to that just yet, I believe.
Then I'm afraid you must rely on your own 2 feet.
I think I prefer it that way anyway, if I'm totally honest.
Fair enough.
I wish I could help you more. Unfortunately, the tower circles are restricted and expensive.
Well, I don't suppose there's anything else unless you have any information about some dragon known as Duskbringer.
She'll pause for a moment as if she's considering it. I know he has a brood, or at least he has a younger brother.
You don't say.
What would be the name of this other dragon?
Oh, and she starts going through her notes once again.
Oh, we need a tally of how often I'm going to make...
Her notes, also known as her memory.
No,
In
I
fairness.
have the notes. I just need to look through it real quick. Let me double check.
Well, she led us to that question.
All right.
Listen, if the GM has to keep consulting notes, that means we're doing our damn jobs, right?
That is fair.
Yep.
Alrighty, one moment. Why is my thing not letting me change pages?
As she consults her note in game, like, you know, if it's a smaller dragon, maybe leverage. I don't know.
Keep in mind, a smaller dragon may just mean it's only 2 wagons large, not 3.
Well, you know, I'm being optimistic right now.
Yes, you always are.
2 wagons is better than 3 wagons.
I want to do the inside check on Reynard because that's sarcasm. I felt it. I actually felt a physical punch.
Yes, 2 wagons is better than 3 dragons, but 2 dragons are more than 1 dragon, unfortunately.
Bajiriax is its name.
That's the spelling.
Bajiriax. Yeah, good luck spelling that.
I'm just gonna wait.
I'm 100% confident that I did not spell it right, and I don't care.
I'm.
I spelled it right! Hey, screw you guys!
Oh,
Never said you didn't.
I thought it was a V, so.
You said that's a younger brother, or younger broodmate.
Yes.
Do you happen to know anything about that one? Where it may roost, where it may stay? I don't know. Do dragons roost?
She'll shake her head at that. No. Somewhere in the north. I don't know specifically. I don't keep track of dragons, unfortunately.
Bernard, you seem to be an expert on dragons. Do they particularly care for their broodmates?
Make a name check.
Well, I was going to say, it depends on the dragon as far as I know.
Oh, we know it's a black dragon.
Dragons are very intelligent creatures. They are just like people. They have different preferences, different tastes. One family may be close-knit, another may hate each other.
I hope this one... I don't know if I prefer this one hating each other or being friends.
Well, let's just put it this way. If 2 dragons like each other and you kill one, the other is a very long-lived enemy that's never going to forget you.
Yes, I'm well aware, and that's why I'm concerned.
I mean, in my opinion, if 2 dragons are known to be brothers, I could assume that they have a decent relationship.
That's
otherwise they would not get to talk about the other one, or be seen with the other one, or try to kill the other one.
I don't think I followed that, but yes.
Right. Well, thank you for your time, Archmage.
Would you happen to have any potions of acid resistance?
That would be useful.
I do believe I do.
Oh wait, am I acid? No, I'm not a water genasi. Sorry for saying that. I got really excited. I was like, oh, I'm resistant. And I was like, no, I'm not.
As soon as she told us it was a black dragon, I'm like, Tempest was a water genasi. This would be so much easier on us. That was a thought in my mind.
Remember back when I had Downpour and that was going to be my character instead? Man, regrets.
If it was a green dragon, then we'd have 2 people who have resistance to poison damage.
Oh, we are, aren't we?
Yep.
Potions of resistance are 300 gold.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't even argue that that's an unfair price. That's what I expected. Unfortunately, I don't have that much coin left on me. I'm just going to have to be very careful.
I was about to say, I'm sure, dire circumstances raise prices.
Very well.
I will take one.
Oh, jealous.
Okay. And she will snap her hand once again. And one will float over gently to land in her hand. And she will slowly work the unwrapping of the alarm spell around it before she will hand you the potion.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Well,
That potion just makes you resistant to fire or to acid damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need?
I was going to look for some stuff for my jeweler tools, but you know what? That's probably not very important right now.
You never know.
Do we have enough rations to get there?
Yes.
I don't think we've been using many rations. We've been doing a lot of in-towns and stuff.
I have some hardtack still. I don't eat it.
I don't know why you have that, but good.
Well, we stole it off the ship when we left.
That was a very nice cat. You stole from the cat.
No, not that cat. The pirate ship that
Yes, okay, that's fine.
Roman was on.
Yes, remember now.
You wouldn't happen to have a bag of holding, would you?
That, unfortunately, is outside of your price range.
She already knows.
She's aware of our price range at this
She can see our wallets.
The fact that we've been saying everything's incredibly expensive, I think it's just too easy to assume.
It's not difficult when you guys keep saying, I can't afford this. I can't afford this. Reynard, when we came here, told you this stuff is going to be out of your price range. She knew then it was too much for us.
Hey, you never know. Sometimes there's some magical doodads that are just trying to hawk for like 50 gold or something.
Can we get on the road? I'd really like to shoot this gun.
Yes, that's and we have everything we need. 23, you've got the climbing gear.
Yes.
You've got supplies for the trip, and I've got a new tent, so hopefully I don't get rained on. And really, I'm just ready to get going.
Very well.
Okay. Let's be off.
Okay.
On the road again.
Head outside the northern exit of town, I guess.
And so the party begins their great adventure towards
something.
Doom.
The Aloe Forest.
That death
is where we are going to end our night.
I should look for jeweler shit. Oh well.
Thank you for coming for another wonderful session of the Land of Dark Dreams. We loved having you. I think I saw some good numbers there tonight, more than I've seen in quite some time. That pleased me. For those of you that are interested in some wonderful things that we've got started up, I believe tomorrow, I'm sure my operator will yell at me, tomorrow is going to be a Scald's Tale, Pathfinder's 2nd edition adventure. Lake here is doing Curse of Strahd Saturday evenings. Definitely worthy of your investment.
Of your late night viewing pleasure.
Go to some Strad.
Strad, not Count Chocula.
You will
blah,
never hear
blah.
that voice in my campaign. I guarantee it.
Blah, ha, ha.
You want to suck your chocolate? I don't know.
All
That's
right.
thoughts.
I think that's all I've got for this evening. It was wonderful to see and talk to all of you guys again. I promise I won't leave you ever again unless I get hit by this hurricane, in which case, sorry.
We'll miss you.
Guys,
Be safe.
have a good night. See everybody soon.
Drink your
Parting
milk.
checks your D20 can't cash.